Good evening. I'd like to call this meeting to order. We have the prayer and the pledge by Councilman Dandall.
Dear God, please protect and watch over this council and this mayor to give us the strength to serve the community and the people of our city to the best of our ability through Christ our Lord.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mayor Pro Tem Ricky Gonsalas,
Present.
Councilmember Brooke Marcotte,
Voted not to know.
Councilmember Warren White,
Here.
Councilmember Troy Como, Councilmember David Merrill,
Here.
Councilmember Ron Davis,
Here.
Councilmember Dan Darrell.
here.
All right, we have any public comment cards? Having none, I always remind people, including myself. Oh, we have one? Oh, okay.
Where it's supposed to be dropped off.
Okay. And put your phones on silent if you don't mind. Madam Clerk?
Sanat Zanaman to discuss the expansion, which is resolution number 2642.
Good evening.
Good evening, Council and Mayor. I just wanted to talk about an expanded agenda item on the agenda tonight regarding the work that's being done by the Louisiana Housing Lab to bring 4 affordable housing units to the West End at the corner of Field Street and Corrine Street. We've been undergoing this sort of 2-year-long process of trying to line this all up, and I've been working. My role in it is to sort of been a community liaison to try to entice the the organization to bring their resources and their work here to New Iberia. And we're finally at a point where we're about to cross that finish line and break ground this summer. So we're really excited about that. I think there's just one sort of final formal letter that we need. We would love the council to approve tonight, and so that we can get that and finalize all of the paperwork to secure the donated property at the corner of Corrine and Field Street. And we've already secured funding from the state to build these 4 units. So once that's done, we'll start with the groundbreaking this summer, and it's a really exciting project. With the, I think this will be a great catalyst for a lot possibly future affordable housing projects to happen here in that would target adjudicated empty lots and properties across the city, particularly in the West End. And as this thing finalizes and gets constructed, we're looking at other opportunities to make this project a really creative, artistic, and community-oriented project as well. We're looking at developing a like a carpentry apprenticeship program to bring in young people in the community that are interested in carpentry to help to get them skills by working on building these homes as well. So, and other like little creative block party type of projects too that would really help to bring some positive energy and activities in a part of the city. So I would just like to again just urge you all to support this formal letter of support for our little project here, and hopefully they'll expand and ripple out and become a much bigger project that will make some significant impact here in the city of New Iberia. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Madam Clerk, item 2A.
Acceptance of the minutes, regular meeting of March 17th, 2026, which were published on March 25th, 2026.
I need a motion.
So moved.
Mayor Pro Tem Ricky Gonsalas, I need a second. Councilman Dan Dahl, thank you. Is there any discussion on our minutes from March 17th? Everybody good? Please vote your machines. Thank you very much. 3A.
Derek Briley with the Iberia Parish School Board to address the council on sales tax matters.
Good evening, council.
Good evening.
I was informed y'all had some questions about
Yeah,
a
I'm
pretty
not
large
even-
refund.
Yeah, this
Y'all
hit
need
us.
some more information about it?
Yes, sir. This
Okay.
hit us all last week. So we get a call, Babette tells me that Walmart, Walgreens, you'll be able to tell me who else, overcharged sales taxes. So we got money in sales taxes that it was an overcharge on their part. But it's to the tune of like, what do you think the number is? That's one of the big questions I have.
I can't go into specifics on like who the taxpayers are.
I understand.
So one of the refunds is total for all jurisdictions is I believe like a little over 1.8 million.
Okay.
The other refund.
What is our part?
Wow.
I'm not worried about everybody else. I'm worried about our budget.
Yeah,
hang
so
on,
I
hang
call
on.
it a refund because that's what it's a
one
refund
step at a
request, a refund of taxes. Technically, it's a return of revenue.
We collected sales tax that we should not have. They brought it to our attention. I looked over all the matters. There's still a couple things that I need to situate with it.
Right.
So I broke it down for Babette the other day. Let's see. So the original City of New Iberia tax, that portion would be $674,330.72. Let's see. The City of New Iberia 2018 tax would be $168,582.68. And then the New Iberia EDD number 3 would also be $126,770.90. That would be the breakdown for y'all portions. So it spans over multiple periods. One of those periods was before the EDD number 3 was ever implemented. So therefore, I have to figure out, how to distribute the refund properly from each jurisdiction.
So were my citizens charged taxes? What kind of
On
refund did they get?
these, no. This was exempt sales that
How was the money generated if these companies, I know we're not supposed to name them, but whatever, if these companies didn't take it from my citizens, where did they get it?
the
don't-
reason
I-
I was given
I
for
don't
the
understand.
refund request was that there was an error in their system when picking up Medicaid sales. It was
For PBMs, which is a pharmaceutical benefit manager. For some reason, they were picking those up over the last.
Different companies all made, and I'm not, you're not, it's not, and none of this is
It's-
directed at you.
It's one taxpayer
Okay.
for the whole 1.8 million. It's one taxpayer that
Their system was picking up these PBM Medicaid sales.
Okay. So even though it's various local stores, it's
yes,
one.
it's between 4 stores.
Okay, but there's one collector, is what you're telling me, or one.
There's one company, yes.
One
It's
company.
one parent company, which is which my kind of proposal that I was going to bring to y'all once everything's situated and final was to offer credit memos.
Yeah, because we're not writing a check.
Exactly.
I
Writing a check
mean,
would
that
just be
can't
too
happen.
harmful to
This
EDD
is
number
going to
3,
be
that would
harmful. This is money that we budget, and this
Exactly.
is,
So I've kind of looked at the numbers. The numbers are
Doing a rough estimate, looking at their monthly sales over the last 18 months after this, because they picked this up or realized that this mistake was happening in June of 2024. They stopped, they fixed it in their system, and then now they're asking for a refund. Mostly the reason why is because there was a clarification by the state. The state basically said that these sales are in fact exempt. There's kind of been a back and forth between the locals and the state over the last 10 years plus, saying that, these PBMs are upcharging so that they can get theirs, so we should tax it. The state finally, I think sometime in 2025, came out with a clarification saying that, they are in fact exempt. There were some parish administrators who I've spoken to that said they weren't sure if that was a clarification or a new interpretation of the law. I've spoken with my lawyer. He says it is a clarification, meaning that it has always been exempt.
And this
So-
affects other government bodies.
This is a full state. The entire almost every single parish has gotten a refund. They may have not received it yet, but they will.
so.
I've looked at everything. Their monthly numbers tie in. I originally got the request in October of 2025. I then asked for the full backup. They sent me spreadsheets of the papers that they sent me in. I said, no, I want the full backup for everything. Mostly to give us more time before we had to make a decision on this. Now we're within that 90-day period to where we can pay this refund back and not be charged any interest. Even if I do the credit memos, if I just issue them 1.8 million in credit memos, there's no interest attached to it. It's done. And what we'll do is, I think it's about $85,000 total a month, which I tried to do a breakdown on what each jurisdiction is going to charge, but I haven't been able to come up with how to do it yet, just because it spans over multiple periods through multiple different taxes being implemented. So the way I'm going to have to do it going forward, once we actually give the credit memos, is once they take their credit memo, I'm going to have to go and do like a refund return with their payment to kind of, it'll be a zero, but to make sure that the money's being distributed.
As local governments with tight budgets, we have to agree to this.
I've looked at everything. They were exempt sales. They are due a refund.
No, I'm talking about, once our attorney looks at it, our finance people look at it, because like I said, this is all brand new to all of us.
Yeah.
I found about it last week, so we're bringing it to the council meeting,
Right.
and you said you'd come, and I thank you for that. The next part is, though, I want to know how I'm damaging, I don't mean in a bad way, but how
Yeah.
I'm affecting, let's not say damage, I'm affecting my monthly budget.
So monthly budget,
As a small entity,
I'm thinking probably between the three jurisdictions. At first, it's probably only going to be the city of New Iberia and the 2018 city of New Iberia tax. You're looking at probably between $40,000 to $50,000 less in collections for that month. So that's why I wanted to do it that way, just because a smaller hit like that over the next 2 years about would be a lot easier than if we give it, like, there's no way the EDD can pay a refund because they don't even have enough collections in a month to pay for their share of what the refund
and
is.
then with us, our EDD is paying for, other things.
Exactly.
I mean, we got commitments, and we didn't, and again, it's not you. We didn't make this mistake.
Right. Right.
So I don't mind that if we have to do something, once it's all proven, and I'm taking your word for it, and we got to pay something back, that's fine. But at the same time, I can't cripple my city going forward. Neither
No.
can anybody else.
No, I understand.
So, 2 years might turn into more than that to pay it back.
So the good thing is
I don't understand that.
Yeah,
so the
The refund is spread across multiple stores. So once one of those stores empties out their credits, then they're going to start reporting cash. They're going to have to start paying for those. Does that make sense?
Paying cash.
Well, paying their taxes. You're gonna start getting a little bit of money from that store because I think one of the stores, their refunds request was like $36,000. So that one's gonna empty out fast. Granted, that's one of the stores that does, I think, the least amount in sales.
Yeah, if we own the least, they do the least. I'm not being ugly, but
yeah,
that's the
it
truth.
is. But I mean, over time, you'll start to see a little bit of money come back in.
Besides the refund. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't anything we did wrong. There was an error in their system.
Right.
They found it. I'm not even sure if they were going to make the refund request, being that they found it in June of I think they found it in June or July of 2024, and then stopped accruing tax. They fixed it, stopped accruing tax. Then the state came out with this clarification, and they said, "Oh, so it was exempt. I'm going to ask for a refund for that." And part of the audit period or the refund period didn't prescribe because they're also currently under audit. So we may get some money back on my audit. I've spoken to my contract auditor. I wish I had more information. From what they told me, their monthly reconciliations, they're having trouble coming to the numbers. They're waiting. They've gotten a little bit of clarification and things are starting to tie a little bit better, but they're not sure where it ends. I don't know. They haven't given me one way or the other whether or not that means we owe them more money or if that means we're going to get a little bit of this money back. But we're kind of I received all the documentation in the beginning of February. I've been going over it over the last month or two. I let Bobette know about a week or two ago to make sure that y'all knew and had plenty of time to kind of figure out what the budgets were. Once we hit that 90-day period,
I need
Yeah.
real numbers.
Yeah.
So I think I sent it to her last Thursday. I'll be back in my office this Thursday. We're closed for yesterday, today, and tomorrow. But I'll be back in my office Thursday. If you have any questions, please give me a call. I'll try to get you whatever you need.
Council, but didn't you just start this job? long you been here?
April of 2025, yes.
Yeah, you haven't been here long. Well, bless you. Okay, I'm gonna open it up for questions. David had his hand up.
That's fine.
Come to David
Yeah, I
Brown.
want to ask you,
Come to you next.
I don't understand how it didn't fall back on the constituents like what Freddie talked about earlier, the people.
Yeah, I just want to make sure it
I
didn't.
just,
So because it's Medicaid sales.
well, that's
so
why I
because
was
it's
thinking that.
Medicaid,
The taxpayer doesn't actually pay any tax. This is, so the PBMs,
Okay.
what they'll do, just a regular PBM, like somebody that's doing your insurance, they're going to charge them, say, $200 for this Medicaid. They're going to charge you $20 for your copay, charge you tax.
Correct.
Well, then the insurance is going to say, you can't charge $200. You can only charge $80. They already paid $20, so here's $60. So there's a whole bunch of things that go into it. These PBM Medicaid, they would charge tax. They would come back and say, this is state funded money. We don't owe tax. So they wouldn't pay any tax. So they never actually collected tax. This was an error in their system, and they were self-accruing tax on exempt sales.
And if they're under audit right now, like you said,
Yes.
that's not gonna simplify the program for the money to be distributed back like that.
I'm not understanding the question.
Well, you was talking about it takes a while. It's gonna take a while for the numbers, for the money, for different, for the different.
Yes.
I'm saying, but if they're under audit, would that make it a little bit harder for them? They gotta look at the audit that they're under also.
Yeah, ask that.
Yeah, but the audit is more, they're not going to look at anything until my contract auditors go back to them and say, here's my assessment. Here's everything that we think you didn't charge tax on that you should have. You owe tax on it. Here's my assessment. Walgreens going to look at it, or the taxpayer will look at it and say, I don't agree. This is why. My contract auditor will say, okay, show me this documentation that I need. And it'll be a back and forth for probably, 5-6 months before anything comes. This, though, is, I've looked at everything. I've spoken with my sales tax attorney who represents not just Iberia Parish, multiple parishes across the state. He's extremely knowledgeable when it comes to things like this. And he has told me that he believes it is, the refund is due. We can always deny, but they'll probably sue us and take us to court. And if we lose, interest is going to be owed.
Correct.
And the reason I want to get this situated in the 90-day period is because interest goes back all the way to the date that the tax was due.
Right.
So if some of the tax was due in January of 2021, that's interest all the way back to January 2021 that we have to pay.
Numbers, we're talking about almost
Yes.
$1 million.
We're not-
It's
we're not talking about a little bit of-
$969,000. So the
Yeah.
interest would kill us.
So that's the good thing. That's why I recommend a credit memo. Credit memo is not going to be an immediate hit. You'll take a much smaller hit over a year and a half, 2 years. And my contract audit firm is going to also take a look at this as well. I looked at it, the numbers tie in, but
I don't have the capacity to fully audit this in a 90-day period. I just don't. So the best bet is give them the credit memos, let them take it, and then if my audit firm finds that there's something wrong with their calculations, they'll make an adjustment and we can always fix it then,
My last question was 2024. I don't see how it took so long for them to find out that they had an error without it being coming back to them.
So, I'm not sure. I was told their refund request is that there was an error in their system. I've been told that they were voluntarily accruing tax based on an assessment from a different parish years and years ago. All I know is officially they're stating that there was an error in their system. So that's what I have to go with. My contract auditor told me that they were told that, and then
I don't believe it.
they've never. Well, no, my contract auditor was told that they were self-accruing because of a prior audit,
Right.
and then they backtrack and have said they never said that. So It's kind of he said, she said. Their official refund request is that there was an error in their system. All right. Yeah.
That's it for you?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Mayor Pro Tem Ricky Gonsalas, whoever
So,
wants to go
Derek.
next.
Yes.
So you mentioned that on multiple occasions that it was those firms' error in collection, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So explain to me, why would we ever even consider charging this municipality interest when it wasn't our mistake?
That's just the way the state
No,
statutes.
that's not the way it goes. I mean, that's not the way it works.
I understand.
I
but
mean,
that's-
I'm not accusing you.
No,
Yeah,
I
We
understand.
made
know
no
it's not.
error, no mistake, and now you're saying potentially there would be interest, a penalty.
The statutes state that
If there's a refund and a refund is due, we're given a 90-day period to either accept the refund and pay them what that we owe, give them credit memos, and in those two instances, no interest is charged.
Which statute are you referring to?
I don't have the statute on top of my head, but I could get it to you.
Obviously, we're gonna need
the Yeah. statute
because 90 days.
I'm making a deal tonight.
90 days is a relatively short period to authorize $1 million in repayment. I'm not denying we owe it. I just want real clear clarification.
yeah, I can get that to you.
And
I'll be back
so
in office on Thursday.
you
and I
referred
can
to
get that you.
a contract auditor.
Yes.
I would assume that, and you mentioned there's four businesses or whatever.
It's over 4 businesses. It's the same legal entity.
Okay.
One of the businesses has closed. So.
Have you backtracked all these businesses? Do they have clean audits?
Yes, yeah. They don't have clean audits, but they don't have audits that equal up to this. And my
Because I
audits-
would assume if there was that big of a mistake in it, it would have showed up in audit.
So
I don't want to put you in a position. I understand. I mean, as an elected position representing the city,
No, I completely
I mean, we
understand.
got to ask the tough questions.
So, if they were self-accruing and saying that it's taxable sales,
My auditor, I audited for 4 years. I'm not going to go to a taxpayer and then say, no, that's not taxable. Because if they're saying it's taxable and they charge tax on it, then I'm just going to assume that they're doing it right, because even if they did it wrong, they charge tax, if that's what they're saying they did. Come to find out, they were never charging tax. There was, like I said, an error in their system showing these sales as taxable sales, even though they're exempt Medicaid sales.
Okay. I would expect that this we just discussed. And I expect some real clarification on this.
Yeah.
In some email forms where we can read and digest material. And obviously, we probably need to get somebody hired than yourself to take the load off your shoulders to make sure they explain to us exactly what happened. And no offense to you.
Yeah, no, I
You
understand.
said you got a state contracted auditor.
Statewide did this happen?
this is.
So there should be a
every-
statewide opinion.
So they bank millions and millions and millions of dollars. How much interest do they make off of all our money?
It just depends.
Well, I'm just
Got to
asking
make a
a
good
question.
bit of money.
Yeah, the question.
So how
for-
about you take the interest you made off of the money you shouldn't collect and take it off our bill?
Yeah.
Sir. Not you. I'm not.
No, I understand. So,
Just a question.
The reason why is because this is money that we collected over years of periods that wasn't due to us. It was a mistake. It's not our fault. We didn't know. We thought it was because that's what they were reporting. But that's why the interest comes into effect, because it is money that's been due since 2021 that they should have had themselves. So that's what the statutes say. I'll be sure to get back to my office on Thursday and I'll figure out what that exact statute is. But I do know that it is a 90-day period before interest starts to accrue. And that's just what the state legislates. And it's kind of out of my hands on that point.
Jeff.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like if anybody got the money that wasn't supposed to get the money, that was us, right?
Correct.
correct. Correct.
So.
So it's not
you know,
any, this is,
We've had the use of the money.
so I've had issues in the past where I've had taxpayers
In my audit experience, say, oh, well, that should have been tax exempt, so, we should get that money back. And I say, no, because you collected it from your taxpayer, or from your customer. If you collect tax, I'm not going to give you your money back until you prove to me that you refunded your customer who actually owed the tax. In this instance, no tax was owed. Walgreens gave their own money that they never collected to us, and then we collected. So besides they're in their system, it's not like they were collecting money and now they're saying, oh, well, it should have been exempt, so we want all the money back. But if that makes sense. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So who's the tax attorney for that you've been talking to?
Drew Talbot. He's with the Talbot Law Firm.
Okay, and
Heard that name.
are other local public bodies involved in this too? I mean, it's gotta be,
From what I know,
There are some really large. I don't know for sure. I can tell you that not every single parish has received their refund request yet, and also not every single parish received it like I did. I was proactive. I asked for further, clarification, further documentation, and they were able to get it to me. Probably because I was one of the first parishes that they submitted the request to.
here, it's school board, right?
yeah,
Parish,
correct.
sheriff? Who else?
The city.
Yeah, okay.
And yeah, whichever city. Yes, sir. And then the TIF districts
Yes.
that each municipality might
All municipalities in this parish.
can put in a TIF district. I don't only
No,
think.
I said,
No, but,
But yes, all the municipalities in the parish, yes.
Everybody who collects the sales tax?
Yeah.
no, that's what I meant, yeah.
so we need
Even
to
though
make,
that store is not located in that
we need
municipality.
to make the same deal parish-wide.
Yeah, I'm wondering who's in our boat.
So
we're all in the
the
boat.
school board is
Right.
the only other jurisdiction that has a large portion of this refund. The way that the tax is broken down is the cities, or the school board is 2%. The city, I believe, is 2.5% at this point. The sheriff is at 0.25%, and the mosquito tax is at 0.25%. So their portions are much, much smaller than what this board's is. Whereas the school board's is probably closer. So the school board, I'm in the same office with them. I let my CFO know as soon as I found out about it. Once I got more information, I started talking to her. And that's when I came to y'all, once I was sure that they are due the refund. Once I was sure of that, then I went to y'all because I didn't want to come to you and say, oh, we're about to give you $1.8 million refund, and then worry y'all, make y'all do all kind of work, and then it come out that, something was wrong in their calculations. But that doesn't seem to be the fact.
And we're not getting
So,
it.
Yes, sir.
Well, I would think LMA or somebody like that would have some ideas about this because it probably affects municipalities all across the state, right?
yes, it does.
Okay. So, I think we need to get in touch with them because they ought to have somebody looking at this.
I need to get clarification on this from my lawyer, but I have spoken with the CFO for the school board, my supervisor, and said, even if we give the credit memos within the 90-day period, so we don't have to pay interest, we should still be able to collect any errors in their calculation for the
Should, you
refund.
said should.
That's why I need clarification from my lawyer first. So
How,
I wanna make
how
sure.
can we have a clock running when we don't have the amount yet?
I have the amount. So the amount that they sent me, it's
Let me give you the full
How can
amount.
we have a clock running when we never made a mistake?
Yeah, that's what gets,
That's just the way the statutes.
that's what gets me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the full refund is $1,812,597.69 is their full refund claim for all jurisdictions, and that's for the whole parish
within, I think the time period is
January
January
2021 through June of 2024.
So the city's close to 900 something thousand.
about,
With the
yes,
numbers
I
you
believe, I
mentioned.
believe so. That's about where it's at.
12597.
The other large refund you had spoken about, that was grocery pickup orders. There's food for home consumption is exempt at the state level. It's fully taxable here in Iberia Parish. When people were doing food or grocery pickup orders, this taxpayer system was fully taxing everything. If they bought something if they had food for home consumption. So let's say they bought laundry detergent, that's fully taxable, and they bought a steak. Well, they would fully tax it, and then they were paying us the state's portion of the tax that was collected in error. The state audited them, said, hey, you collected state tax, we're due that tax. Currently, there is a mediation that they're trying to come up with. I have not received that yet. I believe my contract auditor has spoken with them about it, and they're kind of discussing it at the moment before they present it to me, to make sure that they kind of agree with everything that they're
Man,
saying.
just one more question.
Sure.
So obviously, there's a contracted firm that does the work for these entities, correct?
For us, yes. They do.
No.
They do
For,
work for.
I don't want to say the name of the businesses.
Oh, so these contract auditors don't work for the business.
No. The 4 businesses you mentioned, somebody, they have an agent that does all their collection for them, correct? One body.
Yes.
Okay, so one company does all their collections for them, correct?
The taxpayer?
Yeah.
No. So these are multiple companies, different companies
Different
that all have their own
Are they-
systems of figuring out how to collect their
And-
tax and do all that thing.
And so, who made the mistake?
In both instances, it seems like it was the taxpayer.
The what?
The taxpayer.
The taxpayer.
The one requesting the refund.
The
Yes.
agency.
The one requesting a refund.
The business is what you,
Yes, yes,
I don't want
the
to say the name.
business.
Yeah.
Business.
So,
Took me a minute to-
yeah. So they receiving no repercussions from their error.
I wouldn't say no repercussions. They're
asking.
down $1.8 million
Now,
for that they did.
So
know
it
for-
seems to me that they would come to the table and offer some kind of mediation with the city if they made a mistake and we didn't.
I can present it.
That's what I was getting at.
I mean,
earlier.
I'm not s-
They collected all the money.
Exactly.
They had it in their hands.
Same
for a
thing you
while.
said,
So-
Rick.
Right.
So for
Same thing.
the business I just brought up with the grocery pickup orders, that's a separate issue. That money wouldn't be refunded to the taxpayer.
Right.
That money would go to the state. Whether they pay the state first and then I give them their money back that they paid the state, or we send it directly to the state,
Or the state exempts us.
they could. I don't know.
I'm just saying,
Yeah, they could. That would be something we'd have to discuss with them. In the other instance, I can present to them to come speak and
oh, absolutely, anybody can
See
speak.
a
I'm not
mediation?
speaking for you.
No.
No, but listen,
We all
I
in
just
this
don't think
together. It's our
legally-
budget.
And that's why I'm going to and I'm going to ask my city attorney. Is there maybe any instance, and I don't even have the statute in front of me, Jeff, that we can get extension on this 90 days to figure this out? 90 days seems really short.
I really don't know. You know, I heard about this yesterday.
I mean, it's kind of short, don't you
afternoon.
think?
Yeah.
That's a lot of money too.
And I understand the statute.
Yeah, so the 90 days it goes from when I receive all the documentation for the refund request. So they sent me an initial request back early October. I said,
Last year.
but it was just, printed out pieces of paper
city 90
with
days is up.
numbers on it. So I said, okay, I need the backup for all this. About a month later, they came back, sent me Excel spreadsheets of the papers that they sent me. I said, no, I want the full backup for everything. Due to certain laws in their industry, they had to block out customer names and things like that. It took them almost 3 months to get me the information. In fact, they had to mail it via a
the
USB
files.
because the files were too large. So I've gone from what they're claiming they're owed a refund and what they've sent me to back up what they're saying. Those numbers are matching from what I've tested. We can seek a mediation with them. I just don't see how they would have any inclination to work with us legally just because they're owed the money. And if we don't give it to them, they could just sue us. And then it'll just be a drawn out process. We'll spend money on attorneys and then we'll owe interest going all the way back to the beginning. It's kind of in their hands at the moment, especially with refunds. Normally, I just approve refunds on my own, just because they're usually not this large. That's just what we have to do. There was a large refund that Mr. Segura, my predecessor, worked on, I think, in 2024 for another business, where we had to give $3-point-something million to a different parish because we were paid tax that was not ours. So it does happen. There are mistakes that companies make.
A big mistake.
But we have to take the brink of
That's
it,
a
though.
big mistake.
Yeah.
Mayor, one thing we have to make clear. Because when you say refund and people gets a refund, people think, hey, we're getting money. The city is not getting a refund.
Correct.
Let's get that straight.
Yes.
It's money that
It's
we owe.
a return of revenue.
Right.
Is the best.
So that, when you say refund, everybody say,
Yeah.
it sounds like we're getting a refund, but it's
let's
not
use
us. We
ROR.
refunded
Yeah.
it back through the
Yeah.
school board, yeah, just to make that clear.
We're paying. Yes,
you
sir.
know.
Thank you.
And they
Glad you said
remitted
that.
tax to the tax collectors
Correct.
that they didn't collect from consumers,
As
taxpayers.
far as I'm aware, yes. I haven't come across anything. In fact, I spoke with my contract auditor last week
to make sure, you know, to see if there was anything in their auditing that they've seen, like maybe they have collected money regarding these sales. They said, no, they have not collected any tax on these sales that they're saying are exempt Medicaid sales.
Okay, so how long, you say 90 days, how long do we have to make a decision on this?
about a month.
A month.
A month?
Yeah.
That's it?
Well, like I said, it took me probably a month and a half to go through the information to make sure that it was actually what I needed before, or if I needed to request anything else and things like that. And like I said, it was, I mean, hundreds of thousands of cells of information that I had to kind of pan through and edit to make sure that it comes out to their numbers on their summary reports. And for the months that I tested, it seemed that everything was right.
So it's not just Iberia Parish.
No.
So I think, as Jeff mentioned about LMA, I'm sure their phone will be ringing because they,
That's,
And it could be, but again, like I said, each different parish is on a different timeline. Some parishes may have not even received their refund request. Some parishes may just be electing to let the audit firm handle the refund along with the audit. I don't think that's the best idea for us because in the past, our audits, revenue that we get from these audits of this company, it's maybe $100,000 to $200,000. So I don't think it would save us enough to make paying the interest worth it.
you
That's
just,
why-
you was just too efficient. You on top of it really good.
I'm the most concerned about the payment. I mean, I want proof. We're not gonna sign anything and do anything till we're all comfortable with it. But once we are, you know, to pay back $1 million in 2 years is gonna, you know, our cash flow is gonna be clipped.
Have to make some adjustments.
I don't understand,
Yeah.
you know, why does it have to be 2 years? We didn't make the mistake. If we owe the money, we owe the money, but.
So the
what kind of
reason
li-
it would be
I don't
2
wanna make a
years-
deal right now and then find out 6 months from now, other communities make a
Yeah.
deal and they got 5 years to pay it back.
So the reason it's 2 years is because that's what their tax liability every month is. Their tax liability, the rough estimate over the last 18 months has averaged out to about $80,000 a month. So if I issue credit memos, then they're able to use those credit memos however they see fit. And it will just take, you know, a year or two, or about 2 years, I think it was 22 months exactly, for them to use up all the credit memos that we'll have to give, in my opinion.
So the way it would work is, they would get a credit memo, which
Yes.
they would apply against their tax liability.
That they owe in the future.
So we would not pay out of money that we
No.
already have.
No money that you already
We would just
have.
not get
But
money.
we don't collect, and we have, you know.
Yeah, and it would be about,
Half of that.
it would be about $40,000 to $50,000 loss of revenue over the next 2 years, each month.
Every month.
Yes, every month.
A lot.
So have we pledged this revenue for bonds and things
Sure
like
we
that?
have, sure we have. Absolutely. That's how the city runs. That's the killer. What do you think? We don't have it in the bank. I mean, it's.
No,
Make something
We got
happen.
obligations that we
Yes.
all signed off on.
I mean,
And we gonna pay, and those obligations are jeopardy because of their mistake.
yeah, we
Yeah.
paying for it.
Yeah.
I can talk to my lawyer to see,
Understand.
What I'm getting at, I mean, this ain't gonna be painless.
to see if there's anything in the statutes about money that, in these instances where money's already been bonded out because of a taxpayer's error, what our options are. The only one I know of is pay it within 90 days, or you get charged the interest.
get
That's
charged the
the only
interest.
one. We could go to the taxpayer and see if they'd be willing to work on us with a payment plan over, like you said, maybe 4 to 5 years or something. but I don't know if they'd be willing
So
to
Derek,
do
has
that.
any other municipality settled with them yet?
That's my next question. We on the same
Yeah.
page, because I don't
That's-
want to make
that's
a
what I
deal.
wanna-
I don't
yeah.
want to make a bum deal.
Not that I know of.
Okay, so I don't want to be the first one,
I don't either.
Mr.
I don't
Mayor.
either. No, I don't either. That's why I was asking earlier, because if we're all in this together, again, I don't want to settle something and then somebody else
Because we
wants
got
a
30
deal and it
days,
gets
I
4
guarantee you
years.
there's other municipalities that
That up
not
now.
on a short string like us.
But like I said, some municipalities may have not received
Correct, yeah.
everything that they need, so they may not even be in that 90-day period.
Yeah.
I know some people did. There was a good bit of parish, a handful of parishes. I don't want to give them out just because I don't know what type of information is I'm allowed to or not. But I know that there were some larger parishes that received it, but I don't believe they received any of the backup that I did. So not even the summary schedules. It was just a letter with a refund request. So then they had to wait for the rest of it to come in, and then they had to make their request for the backup. So they may not have received anything that they need to be able to verify the refund.
Well, if you just got the backup, why don't we get 90 days from when you looked at it?
We did. I received the backup February 9th, so the 90-day period starts on February 9th when I received the backup.
We just getting it now.
Putting us back
Yes.
in.
But I thought you just finished, I'm not being ugly, but I thought you just finished going through it and verifying it.
I went through it took me about a month and a half. Plus I was out for about a week or two. I just
So,
had a
so we
job,
lose
so,
that month and a half because you were going through it?
Wow, yeah, stuff he was going through it.
I mean, not going through it, but I mean, I was verifying
Yeah, I'm not knocking it, but why wouldn't it be 90 days from after you verified everything and you know the
because that's
number's
just what the
right?
statutes say.
Could be 90 for you coming up right now and telling us.
90
Yeah.
days from when we got notification, the city gets notification.
Should be.
That's what it should be.
Yeah, no, that's
Should be.
So you knew the statute was like that when you started taking this on?
Which the 90-day,
Right,
yes.
exactly.
Oh yeah, I knew all the refund. That's why when I initially got the October 1st,
Right.
in October 1st when I initially got the request, I asked for full detailed backup because I knew that it would take them a while and it would give me more time to work on it and verify any of the numbers and talk to other jurisdictions and get with my lawyer, talk with my audit firm to figure out what the information was. I did all that over the 3 or 4 months that it took them to get it to me. Once they got me that, then I had to work on
You know,
doing my normal job plus going through this.
I
other
heard about
stuff,
it last week.
you know the
Yes,
statute.
I
You know
know.
the statute number
I mean,
Which statute?
that you're referring to.
No, I don't know that one off the top of my head, but I can get it to
Thursday,
you
we were off Friday.
this week.
Yeah.
Get it to Jeff or somebody.
Title 47 somewhere, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to talk to our legislatures.
Yeah, I just don't see how we don't get enough time spent.
Yeah.
To
And
be
month
hurry up
and-
and rushed into this like that.
Or maybe some people in Baton Rouge.
and it's 30
Yeah.
days and
Yep.
we gotta pay interest, all that. We don't.
So the
sir.
state will be a player in this as well?
No, because it's state dollars. So all pharmaceutical drugs, I believe, are exempt at the state. So they don't receive any money at all from pharmaceutical sales. So this wasn't an issue with them. The other large refund that we have for the grocery pickup, they were affected, but they didn't receive the tax that was collected on their behalf. So that's what that issue. And again, I don't have any full numbers for that one because I haven't received the mediation yet. But as soon as I do, I'll get that number to y'all.
So the money they might owe is in mediation, the money we might owe has a deadline.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go.
No, the one in mediation, we do owe that. That's a return of revenue from the same jurisdictions that owe this other one. I believe so. It might be different. I have to check in which jurisdictions that they report the tax in. Yeah.
Story to be continued.
Well, 100%, sir. We got,
Definitely.
any of y'all have anything else?
What a way to start a meeting.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Put a little damp on.
Like I said, I heard about it
We're tipping on
Thursday.
pretty
We
good
were off
place,
on
Dan.
Friday. I was like, I'm gonna wait
30
and bring it
days
to the
and
meeting.
we-
And thank you for coming.
Yeah,
because
no,
I
it's
couldn't
no
have got to first base explaining this.
Oh, yeah.
Please share any relevant information with our attorney if possible.
Yeah, I definitely will. I'll get with my lawyer. Probably Thursday. I'll give him a call to get those statutes.
Thursday?
I'm not in the office.
It don't matter.
office on
Our
the
clock's
phone.
ticking. You need to be working.
I'll try to get him on. I'll try to get him on the phone.
Yeah, please do. I mean, you got 3 days we missing here.
But I'll get y'all all the information y'all need.
Thank you, Derek.
Yeah, not a
Thank you for
problem.
coming.
Congratulations on your child.
Yeah.
Put a load
Hey, I
on
hope
us.
it didn't give you a hard time.
Put a load on us.
I understand.
All of
I get
that,
these questions every month from the
none of
school,
this
so.
is ever directed at you.
No.
We just, you're the
No, I
messenger. We
completely
understand that.
understand.
Hey, we
But
in
thank
this
you for
together.
coming.
We in this together.
Yeah, we are, literally.
All 30 days.
Thank you. All right. Madam Clerk, 4A.
Ordinance number 2026-07, an ordinance amending section 14-33 of the New Iberia Code of Ordinances related to the confinement of animals suspected of having rabies and animals biting or scratching humans.
I need a motion to open this public hearing.
Motion.
Second.
Councilman David Merrill and Councilman Ron Davis. Is there anyone from the public? Hearing, seeing none. I need a motion to close.
So moved.
Second.
Mayor Pro Tem Ricky Gonsalas, Councilman Ron Davis. Now I'm looking for the main motion.
Motion.
Second.
Councilman David Merrill, Councilman Warren White. Is there any discussion on this item?
At the discretion of other.
Okay, why don't you read that real quick? We added one little thing from last time.
The rabies control, shelter manager will determine whether a dog can be quarantined at home or at the shelter. It's just what we're changing.
Yeah, we'll let them make that
Did
decision.
they make this in what the case is?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we had a motion in a second? On the main? Yeah. Okay. Any discussion?
Do we need to amend it? Is that,
You want to amend it for that one little line? We can?
We can.
was the language that you added in the packets?
No.
Just the part that was,
Then we have to.
bold.
amend it. Yes,
Part that was
okay.
in bold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're right. I need a motion to amend.
I'll make a motion to amend.
Okay. Councilman Warren White.
Second.
Councilman David Merrill. Is there any discussion on the amended motion? Everybody good? Please vote your machines. Now we have an amended motion, and so I'm back to needing a main motion.
So moved.
That worked.
Second.
Pro Tem Ricky Gonsalas, Councilman Ron Davis. Is there any discussion on this motion? The main motion now. Hearing, seeing none, please vote your machines. Thank you. Thanks for pointing that out, man. 4B.
Special ordinance number 2025-2026-08, an ordinance amending the budget for costs related to the Sugarcane Festival buildings, operations, and maintenance.
I need a motion to open this public hearing. So moved.
Second.
Councilman Dan Dahl, Mayor Pro Tem Ricky Gonsalas. Anyone from the public? Seeing none, I need a motion to close.
So moved.
Second.
Mayor Pro Tem Ricky Gonsalas, Councilman Dan Dahl. Now I'm looking for the main motion.
Motion.
Councilman David Merrill.
Second.
Councilman Dan Dahl. Any discussion on this motion? Everybody good? Please vote your machines. Thank you. Item 4C.
Ordinance number 2026-08, an ordinance proposing to amend section 3-06 of the City of New Iberia Home Rule Charter regarding mayor compensation, subject to voter approval.
And remember, this is for a future mayor, not for me. I need a motion to open this public hearing. So move. Councilman Dan Dahl, and I need a second.
Second.
Councilman Ron Davis. Is anyone from the public to comment on this item? We have someone. Great. Good evening, Ben.
First of all, I would like to thank the council for opening it up to the public where we can come and have a say on that situation.
You mind speaking up? Check your mic to make sure it's on.
Would you please? Check.
Yeah, right.
Maybe I need to do this with it. Is that better?
Yes.
A little better.
Okay.
You're just tall, Ben.
And you're a little short.
That's it. You know it.
All right, I would like to open by stating this. I'm here under unusual circumstances. My mother,
Is it on?
Miss Doretha Myers Vilts, just passed away on Good
Yeah,
Friday.
condolences for your mother.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I would like to, Mr. Ron Davis, who offered his condolences already, thank you and allowed you the
I was gonna
opportunity
call
to
you
do that
also.
too.
Yeah.
And I'd also like the public to know that her services has been scheduled for April the 18th at St. James United Methodist Church. Address is 549 East St. Peter Street here in New Iberia. And again, I would like to thank all the public who has offered condolences thus far in her passing. Okay.
Our deepest condolences.
Yeah, you certainly have ours.
I thank
Yes.
you. I thank you very much. This is why I gave you the opportunity, because after I get through speaking, I might not get as many. Just
It don't
kidding.
matter, bro.
Just kidding, Freddie. You
Mom
know,
was
but-
90,
but
your mom
really,
was 90-something years old, huh?
Yeah, my mother was passed away at 96 years old. She would have been turning
A long time.
She lived in her 96 year. Right. So again, I thank you all for your condolences.
problem.
And I appreciate your prayers going forward for the rest of our family.
sir.
Now, this thing about the mayor's compensation, all right? I think right now, first of all, it's early on to say, okay, let's give the mayor's position a raise. I think it's fair where it is right now. I think that $80,000 that the mayor's position is getting is fair, you know, for a mayor in today's time in a city our size. And to do a comparative analysis with other cities, you know, to try to compensate this mayor, that's ridiculous. What they're doing in other cities is not our business. They're protecting and serving themselves the way they see fit, and it has nothing to do with us, all right? So we know in our city what Mayor Freddie Dakota has done. I got to admit, he has done a great job. You understand? You really have, you know, moving our city forward.
And you know this would be for a future mayor, not
Yeah,
for-
yes, well, I want to make that clear to make sure that if this thing does go to the voter, that it stipulates that.
It has to.
Understand?
It has
It's
to.
not like we up here ignorant politically, all right? We know right here, the political climate right now in New Iberia, well, Ricky, I got to say you're in the best position to be the next mayor. Let's just call it like it is, all right? And so we're talking about giving the mayor position a raise for a person like Ricky. Well, we don't want to make our position so inviting that we invite criminals or people who come to move to New Iberia, live here a year, just to run for mayor so they can get the compensation that the mayor position is offering at this time. You understand? Or even with an increase, all right? Because we're setting ourselves up at the taxpayer's expense. You understand? Because the compensation now also allows the mayor to be compensated as the civil service employees, all right, which was stipulated in the charter when they did it in the year 2007, when Hilda Curry was the mayor, all right, which the salary was at that time was $60,000 a year, and it increased to $80,000 by way of the Charter Commission. First, we want to recognize one thing that took place. This Charter Commission was formulated under the premise that they was going to change the antiquated things in our charter. All right, that's all. It didn't say about changing our form of government from a legislative form of government to a home rule charter. That was never stated at a public meeting by our mayor, Hilda Curry, all right, at that time. Freddie, you was the mayor pro temp at that time, all right? That was your first term, and that was in her first term, all right? So then when we get it back from the Charter Commission, all of a sudden we have a different and new charter. Without the knowledge of that council who was sitting up here at that time to, say, okay, we're changing forms of government from a legislative form of government to a home rule charter. Never ever stated a mention. So how this commission takes and run with the ball and change our old form of government without the mayor or the council even knowing that's what's taking place, well, only God knows, because they should have been paying attention. What I would suggest at this time, that all of you council members read the old charter before the change, read the new charter to see what changes were made, all right? Because all before, the city council in the charter that we were standing on was the only one who can give the mayor position a raise, all right? Not the mayor being able to give himself a raise by way of giving the civil service employees an increase, all right? And he, according to one of the authors of this new charter, Mr. Jeff Simon, can give himself a raise at the same time, because that's exactly what the charter is saying, all right? And I think that's not a good idea. It never was, and it still is not, all right? Because I don't think that a person, all of you guys up here have companies. Dan Dahl, you got a company? You have a company? Freddie, you have a company. There's none of you gonna hire in your company somebody who can come along later and give themselves a raise, all right? And the city as a corporation, the city as a corporation, you'll be able to speak, Freddie, because the public hearing is back and forth.
Oh,
We
no,
can't-
back and forth.
Right.
No.
Okay, but, well, that rule changed too, it's somewhere in the abyss, okay? But the point I'm making is, you would not hire somebody at your company and say, okay, I'm gonna grant myself a raise, along with my other employees. You understand? The city is a corporation, The city is us, the people, all right? We are hiring the mayor. When we vote for that mayor, we're hiring him to conduct and run our city business. Isn't that correct? The administration, all right? We all clear on that, all right? Now, again, for us to say, okay, take a charter who literally manipulated the charter, charter commission who manipulated the charter to favor the mayor, and I'm gonna just be honest, that was the only reason Hilda Curry put the charter commission together, was to change the salary of the mayor's position, all right? Does anybody say otherwise? Well, everybody has their opinion, all right, simple as that, okay? Now, again, I don't think that's a good, fair way to protect our taxpaying citizens' dollars, all right? To have a person in a position, you understand, that's why the charter was written the way it was, where the city council is the only one who can give the mayor position a raise. Not a position where you put our citizens as well as the council in a position where when the city council, when the city civil service workers are compensated, you understand, that this be allowed, you know, as well for the mayor. But it was written into the charter by one of our very own, city attorney, Jeff Simon. He was part of that commission as well, all right? The other things that we would like to, would need to address in our charter, since we're talking charter, it was how it was removed from our charter that the citizens have the last voice to say in a CLECO contract, all right? Mysteriously, that clause disappeared. This is why I suggest that you read the old charter as well as this charter way was changed in 2007, all right? Because this was the city's council's, all right, at the last word, then the citizen, it would go to the voters, as it did in the year 2000, all right? Which I recall exactly because I was one of the candidates for the mayor in 2000, and CLECO campaigned it harder than us to get the contract voted on in favor of them, all right? So again, that was the position. So at that point, we weakened, again, our citizens by taking their power away from them in that charter, which was never stated, never ever stated. You understand? You had to go back and read that charter and find out when this most recent contract agreement came up with the city council, with CLECO, to find out that it was no longer going to the voter as the last word. All right? So we were denied that, and that was done deliberately. All right? So we found that out the hard way, because when it came down to Ms. Dee Dee Ledbetter and Mrs. Dee Dee Johnson going to negotiate those contracts with CLECO, well, it ended up back in the same person's hand to say that they were not welcome to negotiate in favor of the city, you know, and it just was the lawyers going to have the discussion, which again puts our city attorney, the only one there to discuss city business and make arrangements to do whatever he saw fit in favor of the city. And it's not blasting anybody, it's just telling you the truth with how it happened, okay? Now we at the point where we're ready to compensate the mayor's position another $40,000 from the $80,000. You're talking about $120,000, is that correct, Dan? Mm-hmm. Okay. We want to give that position another $40,000, all right? Well, first of all, I think where we are right now is fair. It's really fair, you understand? Now, if anything, I think that we should address the compensation part about that mayor position cannot come back by way of proxy, giving the city workers who are civil service employees a raise, at the same time granting himself one, all right? In other words, that's not fair, all right? And come on, Jesus, it's no way anybody, none of your companies got employees where they can get themselves a raise. All right, the city is a corporation. I don't want you or nobody else to give yourself a raise. That gives too much opportunity for something nefarious to take place. All right, we need to protect ourselves better than that. All right, and we should. You understand? That's why I think that we should be addressing this city council thing, this charter thing, as well as other things in the charter at this time. And again, I'll reiterate: what is the rush? All right, if this is going to be happening 2 years from now, 2.5 years from now, all right, what's the rush to do it right here now? What's the rush? The only reason I can see, all right, as being a rush, if we haven't stipulated in this document that it's not to be granted unto this mayor who sits in his seat right now, then, okay, that would be the only thing to protect us from him having an opportunity to increase his own salary. You understand? And if that's the case, then it should be stipulated in this document or with the charter that this specifically, even when it goes to the voters, to let us know that it's not a case where, okay, Freddie can come back next month after the, next year after the voters pass this and say, well, it passed, but it didn't stipulate that, you know, it's not going to be compensated the same way right now, right? So in other words, that's protecting the citizens' money. Now, another thing citizens have complained about when it comes to the charter, we were supposed to be going back to when the sewage plant was paid for and we no longer had to pay that bond. Our sewage user fees were supposed to be rolled back to a flat rate. That's what it was stated initially when we first started, that's 2% every year to stop that 2% increase in our sewage user fee and kind of give consideration to our citizens who are really overpaying right now with our sewage user fee, all right? Now, another thing that citizens are asking, you know, to stipulate in the charter, right now, this meeting is going out to a few citizens' homes in New Iberia, all right? Because Cox overcharged us. Right now, our bill is going from $174 into $235 in the last year and a half, okay? Well, citizens want you to pay attention to that, all right? And not to mention, if you ever took a survey and see how many homes that Cox sends its signals to, all right, it's minimal in New Iberia. In other words, people don't have it. So I'll bring us back to this point. We are looking to have us protect our resources. You understand? We want a mayor who not coming over here to try to run for mayor, move from some other city because, okay, go to New Iberia, stay the mayor for 12 years, and you're a millionaire. And you get compensation and a pension for the rest of your life. I mean, come on, you subjugated all of us to that ourselves, all right, as citizens. And if anybody coming from anywhere else to try to compensate it, well, if they don't think it's fair, stay their ass where they at. You know? All right.
That was funny.
You know?
Can you kind of start wrapping up?
I will. We're supposed to have 30 minutes to public hearing, but that's okay. I will, Freddie.
No, you've been 6 minutes. Or,
right.
I don't know. It's
I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure I get all the points in. You understand? Because I'm under right now. I'm under extremely position of pressure right now under the circumstances. All right, and that's why I'm here because I spoke with Brother Ron and told him I'll do my best to get here because we're dealing with things with my mother. All right, but again, I don't want to leave anything out. All right? I don't want to sound like I'm dragging it on because I'm not going to be redundant. Everything I say, I'm not going back over it. All right. So again, what I ask is that this thing do not go to the voters at this time. All right. Y'all have the opportunity, gentlemen, have the opportunity to see to it that this is not allowed to continue. It'll give you all time to go back, read the previous charter, all right, read the one where we are, see what changes that were made that you might object to, also give you time to address this compensation that you're giving to the mayor's position, that with respect to the law that says elected officials do not qualify for civil service benefits. Just to use the word parallel in the charter, as our city attorney did, to say that, you know, it's the same thing. That's what it means to me. Parallel means the same thing, all right? It's giving him benefits that the law, with respect, says that elected officials does not qualify for civil service compensation, all right? And to have a master in a position who can give himself a 2 or 10% increase along with the city employees, to me, it's illegal. It's not right. You understand? And that's not protecting the citizens' money and finance, all right? So, and leave us in that position, knowing that I've just explained to you that's the position that we're in, that speaks to volumes about who you are and what you think that, you know, when it comes down to protecting the citizens' money and resources. Again, I don't want to continue to go on and on about things, and I don't want to be redundant with anything I've stated this far. I would suggest in closing that all of you, even the ones that's not here, mysteriously, Ms. Brooke and Troy, go back and read the old charter, all right? And look at what it stated. It stated, and if anybody deserves compensation right now, it would be the city council increase, because this salary for the city council has been this way since 1976, all right? When the city council salary was, what is it, $650 was the compensation, and it had a $300 car allowance. Well, at that time, the mayor's position had the same car allowance that the city council did, all right? But the mayor car allowance increased, where the city council has been stuck in the mud since the 70s, all right? That's technology, things today what we need for advancement. We know it costs more than that. Back in those days, you could have bought a car, for $300 a month, and, paying a $200 note and have money left for gas that month. All right, and we still there. All right, but look at the increase in cost of all these things. So that's why the city council's salary should be increased immediately. You understand? And at the same time, all right, with respect to the mayor's position, that position that Alan Daigle took with $300 for a car allowance, whatever the mayor car allowance is, that's what the city councilman's car allowance should be, because that's what it was initially, and that's what it should be right now, all right? So let's just be fair with everybody. And as far as for protecting our money, no, we don't want to give anybody a key to the safe where you can get yourself a raise. You're a damn fool if you're doing that, all right? I'm going to tell you, you're going to come work for my company, but you can get yourself a raise all day long. Come on, Jesus. There's nobody doing that. Y'all not doing it in none of your companies now. Why do you expect us as citizens to allow this to be happening to us overall in our corporation as citizens? Don't do it, because literally you're a part of, all right? And that is wrong. So again, I hope we kill this now, bring it back later after you have had a chance to come back and read the charters, the old charter, the new charter, and really willing to address some of those things that I mentioned, like the CLECO clause being put back into our charter where it comes to the voters and not to one person who can manipulate the system, all right? That's what it boils down to. And we address those things when it comes down to compensation, like where we're being overtaxed and overcharged by cops who we have franchise fees with. In those negotiations, we should address the clause where it pay like your franchise fees. This is negotiating too. Where at the time, no, eliminate that franchise fee because they're using it as a pass-on. But you can keep that as a pass-on off of us if you go in there and negotiate it with those things because they want to get the contract with our cities and our franchise contracts, all right? This is the way you negotiate these type of things, not cut a deal back at the door and come back where it favors you and, not allow the citizens to vote on something that our charter initially said that we had a right to vote on, which is like the CLECO contract. Now, the sewage user fee, I think if you want to do something for the citizens, finally somebody do something for the citizens, decrease the sewage user fee and put it at a flat rate where it help us all right? These are the things that I would suggest at this time. But again, go back, read the charter. Let's kill this duck right here, like you said, Freddie, about chopping it up to get the blood, we're going to get blood. No, let's not. Let's put it to bed right here, all right? Come back after they've done their proper research, read the charter, see where the discrepancies are, and then maybe bring it back up, because if this is not going to happen for 2 years from now, right, with the next mayor then, then what's the rush, all right? Let's stop the BS and let's get down to business, okay? Thank you all for the time, and for those of you who offer condolences with my mother passing, I thank you all very much, and we appreciate it.
Thank you for your comments. You have our condolences, as does your whole family.
I know, Freddie, and I know you mean it from your heart, because I trust you. I love you, love
All right.
you too.
Thank you.
All of y'all.
Thank you, Mr. Myers,
Thank you
for bringing in these valid points. The points are well taken. You've always been an activist into the community and stuff, and we thank you for being a concerned citizen, enough to be able to come and speak before the board.
Well, I just would like to not have it set up with some shyster from Lafayette to come in and decide he has enough money to take the mayor's position, all right? Because, hey, if I be the mayor for 12 years in New Iberia, I'm going to be a millionaire and I got compensation for the rest of my life. No, you're not. Not if Benjamin got something.
Thank you.
Thanks again, you all. Love you all.
you, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, is there anybody else for public comment? Hearing and seeing none, I need a motion to close our public comment.
Motion.
Councilman Ron Davis, Councilman David Merrill, thank you very much. Now we're on to the main motion. Is there any discussion on the main motion? The only thing I'd like to say is, it says clearly in this motion, the compensation revised shall go into effect at the beginning of the next regular term of the mayor of the city, which is scheduled to begin on January 1 of 2029. It says it in what you're voting on. It says it will say it on the ballot. So it is definitely not anything to do with this current mayor. Any questions or comments? Yes, sir. Councilman Ron Davis.
Some of the points that Mr. Myers brought up was some pretty valid points, I have to say. I try to make my decisions based on facts as much as I can, because I want to go home and sleep well, and I want to be able to represent my constituents in my district as well as the city. When we had to take a vote on this, it was information on other city entities and numbers, and it was more or less, to me, last minute. So I don't think it was a true conscious decision. So some of the things that Mr. Mars bring home, especially the home rule charter, we all need to be familiar with. There are some things and stuff within the city right now that truly, truly needs attention. The compensation for responsibilities is one thing, but accountability is another. We're accountable to our city constituents because the monies that we spend is their tax dollars, and we have to make sure that it is appropriated in a way that it's supposed to be. We are being confronted on a regular basis with issues after issues after issues, and issues don't go away by themselves. You know, they take dollars and cents and some good common sense and judgment to make the right decisions. The salary that we had proposed for the upcoming mayor, point well taken that it's not for our present mayor, it's a 60% increase. That's almost sometimes unthought of, for that position, especially for one that you're not even familiar with who, where, or whatever they may bring to the table. And like I said, it's not just for the responsibility, it's about accountability, okay? I'm going to take one in particular because I had some issues myself at home, and I've been dealing with some things within the city for a while. We have a very aged infrastructure in a lot of different areas. In particular, I'm going to say District 5, and there's been repetitive problems, and these are problems that need to be addressed. We have roads that's also in dire need. I got a call just before coming to the meeting, I almost missed the meeting because the lady was very upset because it's right by the church and, having a funeral and the roads and bumps and stuff, they scared the body's gonna slide on the back of the hearse, These things need to be addressed. We've had funds that coming through several times, and some of them are still not being addressed. So we find the funds to do a lot within the city, but the infrastructure itself is our main support. To have people here that are interested in coming to New Iberia. Our head count has gone down over some years here, and that's our tax base. But if we keep hitting the general fund as we may, we may be back in a day when Mr. Merrill would oftentimes refer to they didn't have any funds. And hey, we're making some headway with some funds, but of course, going back to that sewer fee. Sewer fees are not regulated by a meter. To actually count to say that every drop of water is used, because they're hand in hand, as far as cost. And Mr. Miles brought up about a flat fee, which of course and I'm not going to say that that's the answer, because we have a infrastructure that needs maintenance. We have to take care of the system to be able to serve the people. But I think we can come up with a better method that's going to work favorable for everyone. I can't get off the roads in particular, because the roads, and I see a lot of things happening within the city and within the parish, and God knows we were in dire need. But some of these roads are really, really out of hand. And we made our patrols, each and every one of us, to report them. And I know that some of the funds that come through is not going to make them all. But when we made our patrols, we rated them also. So we rated them because they needed dire attention. This is something that we need to address. And for the mayor that may come forward, at the price that we're talking about, who's to say that he's going to do any better job? And especially when the monies are going out and they're not coming in at a regular basis. We have room for growth, but we're not growing at that rate just yet. you know, and we keep taking on other projects. Say we have the animal control we have to deal with. We have our bond we have to deal with. We have increasing cost, you know, fuel prices, everything's going up, nothing's going down. We have the Sugarcane Festival building, okay? We have the maintenance fund, the maintenance fees and everything else that we will accrue from this, you know. It's nice to be able to have, but there's a cost you have to pay to have it. We need to start looking at this from a different perspective. You know, I know that I'm a year and a half into this council, but I've been paying attention to a lot of the things that are happening, and we know that the money doesn't grow on trees. We have to watch our spending in relations to this. Like I said, looking at the other mayors and the fees that they're making, as such, doesn't necessarily make us have to give that X amount of dollars. That's 60%. I voted for it, but guess what? I'm not totally in agreement because, like I said, being able to digest the information and having to do research, it changes my mind.
Anybody else? Yeah. Yes, sir.
Well, I appreciate you coming, Mr. Myers, giving that information on what you would like to see and bring to the constituents of our community and things we need to look at. And the charter and all of that from the old council a long time ago was something that we do need to look at if we're here, just to be able to make comparisons to what may happen in the future by looking at what's happened in the past and where we're at right now. And one thing I want to bring to the attention too is when you spoke about utilities and everything, I contacted the mayor on this last week dealing with Delta Utilities. I don't know if you guys got anything, but last week, one of my constituents, an older lady in my neighborhood, she was walking, she stopped me, I went home for lunch. She said, Mr. Merrill, can I talk to you? Did you see my bill, your bill from utility, Delta Utility? The same day when I got back to work, another constituent called me on the same thing. I called Freddie about it to check and see if these things that they added to it is sufficient enough that the commission passed. $11 and something for a customer charge, and another basic charge was $20, and then sometimes it go up to $50-something, and that's not even counting your bill of $40. Got all this on the phone that they sent me. I talked to the mayor about it. He told me his wife was upset also. The same day when he saw the eyes. I got my bill that same evening from when they called me. And I still feel that we need to look into this because these are things that affects everyone in our community. And we should have some type of stability to be able to justify the reasoning of watching what they're doing, and they're making costs come more to our constituents that some of them can't afford. You know, so those are things that we do need to take a look at and be able to have some concerns on because it's coming at us. You know, CenterPoint Energy before that did not have the same type of fees that we're getting from Delta Utilities, and everyone knows that. So those things that we need to look into. And another thing too is I wasn't here to make the vote on that when everything looked at as far as looking at the raise for whoever the mayor may be in 2029. I look at the fact that if we're going to look at 2% for our employees and look at everybody else that we have working underneath us, I don't see a problem with the mayor having a raise, but I look at the amount of what the mayor is going to get for where we live at, and we're losing a lot of constituents in New Iberia to Lafayette and other areas as well. And also, I think the council, one thing Mr. Myers mentioned, 1976, that's a long time ago to not try to give the council a raise also. Yeah. I'm saying we may not have a full-time job like the mayor, but you all are not in our shoes because sometimes it is like a full-time job. You get phone calls on your job, and you get phone calls when you come home from work. And you have to address those issues with these people. And if you don't address them, they're not going to be looking at voting for you again. And next thing you know, they're gonna call the mayor or the mayor pro temp, wanting to know what's going on because my councilman is not taking care of his business. He's not doing what he's supposed to be doing. So I don't look at the fact of it, the money factor for me. I look at the fact that if you have younger people that's coming up, I'm a lot older now. I can't say if I'm gonna be here on the council 20 years from now, 5 years from now, but we need to be able to set up our community for younger people that's gonna be here to take over this community. A lot of us are older up here. We need to make sure that they feel or believe with the cost of food and everything that's going on in our economy across the country, a little raise for the city council is not something that's not going to be beneficiary to these other people that may want to come on the council years from now or in 2029 or further. And they have a job also. Because right now, everybody knows we're dealing with a lot of issues in our country right now. And a lot of it have to do with gas, diesel, food, all of those things. So whatever extra money that you can also get to help take care of your responsibilities, I don't think is something that's a big deal. But I know one thing, we need to take care of our people that we have working for us. All our people working for us, they have to be taken care of. I had no problem with raises for them. I had no problem giving a raise to the fire department because these guys do a good job and they needed that. Same thing if it's the police department. That's serious jobs. Jobs that you go to work on every day not knowing if you're going to come home or not. But I really think that if it's going to be a situation like that, it should be a full situation across the board. I checked myself a few years back. I knew a guy that's on the council in Lafayette some years back. And when they came up to look at giving a raise to the mayor, the whole council got a raise as well. And the same thing happened in New Orleans and other areas. So I don't think it's beneficial to just give the mayor a raise when we all sit up here and make decisions for our community together. So we should all be compensated some kind of way for the positions that we have. And that's my take on everything. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Dahl.
Mayor, I'm trying to figure where to start. You know, all this stuff with utilities, even though we got franchise agreement, it's through the Public Service Commission.
It is.
That's who you gotta call.
I know.
We can't do anything about it. The CLECO thing, I was here for a CLECO contract and a franchise agreement, because I've been here 20-something years, but it all came in front of council. And we met, I wasn't here for the last one, I know this is not what we're talking about, but we had a one-on-one with CLECO to negotiate whatever we thought was best for the community. So that's one thing that we cannot control what Public Service Commission does. And if you look at your CLECO bill, you see a bill now that's all line item for every charge they want. I was part of doing that. I went to Baton Rouge, because before you used to get a CLECO bill. So everything's broken down. Not much we can do about it, but at least you can see where the money is going. And going back to the charter, I was here with the old charter, I was here with the new charter. And the group of people they put together for the new charter, you have to change things sometimes. You can't continue the same old. So that was trying to make things better. New Iberia changed, the growth changed, the infrastructure changed. So things change, and you have to change with the times. Now, we under municipal civil service and civil service. That's a different type than owning your own business. You can't give one person a raise, you gotta give everybody a raise. That's the system. That's not us personally. I wish we could give everybody a raise. Luckily, this mayor has been giving more raises and cost of living than they ever had before. I mean, it's different than what we're talking about here, and we talked about sewer user fee. I was here when we implemented sewer user fee. And we implemented as low as we could because the government came in, they were about to take over the plant of New Iberia, and we had no control. So for years and years and years, we fought the sewer user fee. Last year, the mayor could have got another $5 million for the infrastructure if we went up on the sewer user fee. He decided not to do it. So there's a lot of things that's not in our control, but a lot of things are in our control. And I think the mayor is a person that is responsible for hundreds of people. Now, you look at the last few years, You had one person, two people run for mayor. Why? I think it's a salary. I think it's a stress. I think it's a responsibility. So if you don't have a good lifestyle or a few dollars, you really can't afford to run for mayor. That's how I look at it. And the mayor spoke about this is not going to start till the new mayor comes in. I think it gives the opportunity for more people to want to run for mayor. That's how I look at it. And everybody got that way, that they want to vote, and that's fine. But I think when you there's not one thing, I've been up here 20 plus years, 23, that bring it to the people. I have no problem bringing it to the people. Let the people decide. But we have to move from here to get it to the people and let them decide. And then that's fair. And you have to live with it. We brought many things to the people, and I might not like the way it came out, but they voted, and we go on. I mean, it's like an election. So I have no problem with the salary of the mayor increasing because the people are going to decide. And when they decide, that's what it is. Now, y'all talked about the salary of the council members. That's through us. We vote on that. We can do it, not do it, that's up to us. I mean, but that has nothing to do with this ordinance bringing it to the people. And the mayor said he would not bring it to the election till there's something else is on the ballot. So it wouldn't cost us much money, And Merrill's been here quite a few years. Mr. Davis been here. Rick has been here. It's not easier than it was 10 years ago. It's more complicated. It's got more regulations. It takes more time. Look, when I got on here, I'm not gonna lie. I've been with 3 mayors or 4 mayors. They would have Buddha in the back, and at 2 o'clock, someone was gonna play golf. Those days are over. This is a full-time job.
Exactly.
And I just think this is an opportunity to have more people run for office, because I know someone that ran for mayor, left their job, ran for mayor, 5 years later, they're gone. They're out of his job. They don't get reelected. So it's a commitment to do. It's not just a part-time job. I just think the salary, people might think is a lot, but when you look at the responsibilities, I don't think it is. Comparing to other communities, I hate to compare to the parish president, comparing to the sheriff, comparing to the clerk, comparing to the assessor. So I don't want to compare, but this is very low versus what you said. We don't compare to Lowerville. We don't compare, to Youngsville, Broussard. But boy, we like to compare to them on other things. So I just think the growth of this city, you need to change things. And I think the people make the decision. If they think it's worth it, they'll vote for it. If they don't, they vote against it. And as one thing we always did, some of these things we decide is not for us. It's not for this mayor. It's for the next mayor. And I'm totally in favor of it, to bring it to the people. If you don't bring it to the people, then I think we're not doing justice. But that's just how I feel. Let the people decide. They decide on a lot of things. They decided on a charter. They voted on that. We brought it to them. So I think the people are strong to make decisions on items such as this. And this is the only way we can do it, since it is a charter item. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. So I echo some of the comments Mr. Dahl said, but I think that some of the comments by my fellow colleagues is really drew to the negative side of what we're providing now and the current mayor and this council now. Let's look at some of the things we've done, from the Pepperplex to the new roads that we're being put in. We're improving sewer systems. We did home projects for the disadvantaged. I can go on. And it's sewer improvements at our plant. So we're providing the infrastructure, taking on more responsibility. So there's a lot of good things that are increasing our sales tax revenue citywide. I think, and I agree that, the small compensation, and like me and the mayor talked about, it's 19 years since the increase in the mayor salary. And you all talked about 76 since the council. Totally agree. So both are long periods of time. So, to get, better people interested in positions, in all positions, not only the mayor, up in the salary gets better people interested, not saying more qualified, but look at the responsibility that the mayor's taking on now with the police department. How many times you read in local newspapers that running your own police department is very problematic? It is. It takes a lot of responsibility, a lot of time away from other duties that the mayor does. So compensation really doesn't play into effect of the responsibilities that this mayor is under right now, or the new mayor will be under. And as things change moving forward in 29, there's going to be even more challenges faced us. We got a new one tonight. So I think a person of knowledge that understands the scope of the charter, the scope of running a business, the scope of how to negotiate time and your time constraints versus the police department, the sewer department, and other directors hiring people, supporting your employees. And like Mr. Dahl said, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, but 4% to the civil service the last 2 years, right? We 4% raises. So we're doing what we can for our employees because we appreciate them all. But I think it takes good leaders, experienced leaders, leaders that are well compensated to support your city. And I think this small increase in salary does a lot to justify getting more qualified people to run for that position, to represent our city, because we all want to see it to grow. We all want to see it to keep making progress, because we know where there's going to be some setbacks moving forward, and we want to be able to address those setbacks and make a positive impact on our people. So I like where the city's headed. I do see some of the negative aspects of all you guys' comments. That's everywhere in our communities, in our state, and our nation. But I do see the trend where we're making a lot of progress in our city, and that's due to good leadership. And I want to continue to try to excite people to run for this city position or any city position and get good leadership, good qualified people to make those decisions and guide us in that direction. So I can support the notion, and as well as the city council. That's not charter related, so that would be up to the council. So you can't tie the two together and connect them. So, and I think the mayor did, we did say last meeting that we wanted to see how this turned out against the people, give the people the option to vote on it. Let them make the decision. I think it's, as elected officials, it's our job to go talk to our constituents, explain to them what does this entail, and get their opinion and let them make their own voice. I'd hate not to give it to them where they can't make a decision that they want to see more people, better qualified people to run for a position. And I rest with that.
Yes, sir.
The one thing I have to say, I agree with a lot with Councilman Ron and Merrill said and everyone else. I said this is not what the city council raised, but I think the city council's get a raise too. And also I was thinking about what Mr. Myers said about how I hate for someone to come from somewhere else and come stay a year and run for the mayor. I don't know if that's how they do that. You can come stay, be a resident for a year, and you can run for the mayor position.
I don't know what the residency requirement is.
I'm just wondering, since he mentioned, and wouldn't want that to happen, that somebody just come out of nowhere and come stay here and run for the position.
We have to get to know the people for sure.
Yeah. And I just have to see, I'm all for the people. They take it off our back, and whatever decision we make, I know we have to make the decision tonight, whatever decision the council make, and that's it for me.
I don't remember what the residency requirement is.
Yes, sir.
Taking into account of the whole council here and not bringing anything out of perspective, but our city has done great things. The city is looking good. It's coming around. But again, it wasn't so much to bring out all of the negativity, because we do have positivity. My point was, it's not so much of the responsibility, it's the accountability in which we have. Okay, there is much still left to be done. Our civil service, the 2%, it's good, but the base rates are not. We cannot keep people on board. They're suffering. They got issues just like everybody else out there. Bills to pay, children to raise, everything that we have to deal with on this council as an individual, those people also have. Some of the jobs, they're low paying and maybe low rated, and I know that it's not. So I talked to the mayor about it before. He says that it's up in Baton Rouge. The Civil Service Board has to make those changes, but at the rate that we're training people and losing people, especially as the jobs come into this city, we're not going to keep them. If I'm trying to raise a family, I wouldn't stay either. That's one thing I think we need to have addressed. But the infrastructure you know, because this is a personal deal. When I say infrastructure, and Mayor, you know, we talked about it before many times over. The sewer in District 5 and the roads in District 5 is just,
The whole town.
it's really not acceptable in a sense, you know, and it's time that something, it's time for to take care of business. You know, this sit back and wait and not getting any better. We had the conversation about the water making the asphalt bad. You know, that happens over time. Understood. But this is something that we prepare for the maintenance. This is the old infrastructure of the city where the taxes were brought in to help make the city what it is. Why not give it the attention that it needs? You know, I mean, Mayor, you inherited a lot. I'm not saying you're not doing a good job, Mayor. Okay, we're talking about the compensation, which will be brought to the people to vote on. I voted to bring it to the people. Okay, you understand? We want to attract better people as councilmen. We want to attract better people as workers. We want to attract better people as mayors. Okay, and I believe in paying a man what he's worth. Okay, let that be a given. But I want to make the point while I have the opportunity. We have areas in the city that are weak, where people come through to the city and they have to pass through and see what's what, you know, and, you know, it leaves a bad taste. You know, let's bring it all up together. You know, not what's happening over here and not happening over here, you know, and I know we can't do it all at one time, but yet and still, you know, it's being noted because, like I said, I got a call today. It was very, very alarming, and I applauded the lady for calling and telling me. Because you know what, ain't no more than, she don't see no more than what I see. You know, you go down Hacker Street, you got intersections and stuff. As you cross the intersections are terrible. You know, you got Week Street, totally bad. You got St. Jude, you know, and like I said, we rated the streets and they need to have attention. Yeah, I mean, I can't digest it.
Okay,
Why they working on
My
Wall
turn?
Street?
I normally focus on the positive, but I'm gonna do what my two gentlemen did here. I'm gonna focus on the negative.
Please.
If you don't think we're not making strides, okay, let's take the roads, because I'm gonna hit it all. We are spending, by the time I leave office, we'll have spent $31 million on roads, equally per every district. We rated the streets per every district. Every council member, this council, the last council, voted on that. Every council member met with the engineers and looked at the road. Y'all have all had equal input on our roads. We had to hustle to borrow the first 12.5. We floated a bond for the 17.1. We've gotten a couple of million in grants. But every person that sits here and every person that sat last council and every person that sat the first council had input in the roads. Did we not have a road program? We did not. Let me put it that way. For 14 years, by the time I got here, we had no road program, okay? And we know that because many of us have served and talked about that. So we'll have spent, and a lot of it together with this council, we'll have spent $31 million by the time I'm out of office. I knew from the very beginning we needed to spend $60 million. You can only spend what you have or what you can hustle. So you've all had equal input on the roads, but you don't want to pay the next mayor, not me. You don't want to pay the next mayor more money. You've pointed out the challenges to the nth degree that you better get a good person. As far as for the council, you can give yourselves a raise. That's in the charter. I think you all deserve a raise. That's not, that's not debatable. I totally see that. So that's not an issue. On the sewer, we can talk about a flat rate. We can talk about trying to lower sewer user fees. We can't even we can't even get a free grant for $5 million from the state unless we go up on the sewer user fees. We didn't go up. Almost every community went up. I refused to do that. We gave back the $5 million. Did I sit on my ass and do nothing? No, excuse me. No, I didn't. I hustled $4-point-something million that we got at 0.9 interest, okay, less than 1%. We just borrowed another $5 million at 0.9%. We are spending millions. I will continue to do that because right now it's our only gig. We got a $750,000 grant that the clerk and I worked on that's going to sewer. We're trying for another one now. We're not giving up, But the alternative is we go do like other communities, take the 5 million, go up on sewer user fees, which we could get another 5 million this year if we wanted to go up on sewer user fees. Do y'all want to do that? I don't either, sir.
Don't go up on sewer user
No, I mean, none of us do, okay? Because it's none of us want to do that. So we're continuing to find creative ways to move forward. Okay, again, where do we spend the sewer money? I'll try to spend it equally everywhere we can. My philosophy is we're all in this together, okay? Now, it might not be moving fast enough, and you can focus on the negative and point out the problems. But on the flip side, we're making progress, and we're making progress together. I don't spend a dime that doesn't come before this council to get approved. And you can't say I don't communicate with every one of you. You can't say that you're not involved in all the processes. There's not a job we do. There's not a contract we let. There's not a dime we spend. And I don't know if Babette's here. She might have left. Babette, there's 10,000 rules, and she knows them all, and she keeps us straight on all of them. So everything comes before this council. So to stop and say, okay, I'm just going to focus on the negative, that's fine. That just shows the challenges and the outlines that the next mayor and the next council is going to have. So the council should make more money, and I personally think no mayor's had a raise for 19 years, since 2007. I'm not making that decision, and you're not making that decision. You send it to the voters, and look, you've seen me. I got my butt kicked on 2 or 3 things that we brought to the voters. What I say the next morning in the newspaper? The voters are always right, because it's the only system we got. The voters are always right. But yeah, we have our challenges. Have we done some good in many areas? You can find, we all focus on kids. We've renovated every park. We've added new parks that I didn't think the city would ever build. We did the Pepperplex that's now servicing 600 kids just for Little League. We are moving in the right direction. Are we moving fast enough for me? No, much less, for any of us. But we're all stuck in this, that we have come together. We've worked together. We're going to continue to work together. And we're spending the money as evenly as we can. But our challenge is, just like some of the streets you named, they're in the road program, they're coming. In the contract we have, we cannot tell a contractor what to do when. The road project we have going right now is got another 1.5 years. Did we get a slow contractor? Yes, we did. Did we have to take the low bidder? Yes, we did. We didn't have a choice. Did we look into other bidders and see? Yeah, you bet we did. But by law, it's public money. I have to follow public bid rules. So we got a contractor who's learning on the job. He's doing enough that I can't get rid of him. And I'm not being ugly if he's watching TV. I've had issues. I will continue to have issues. They are moving better. Our engineers are working overtime trying to keep them straight and police them. Their work has gotten better, but their pace hasn't picked up. So they're slow. So you have another 1.5 years of roads going. But many of the roads you're bringing out are going to get done. The money's there. It's not going away. We have these people bonded. If something happened to them, I would call in the bond and I would bring in somebody else. So the work that you've approved is going to get done. We're asking state capital outlay, which we all voted on. We asked them for drainage money. And we're spending millions in drainage. I mean, we just got the final to do which I was going to tell you on the councilman's remarks. We're through the whole process now, correct? With the detention pond, okay? So that's coming, that's $3 million. We have a $2 million project coming out for bid. We have more in design. We signed a contract that y'all helped me with for $600,000 to catch all of those areas. Caroline, I could name all over, where we're doing drainage engineering work because we asked the state, and it's in our request to get money for drainage. We're asking the state for another $5 million in roads. We're designing roads right now, and you'll have the opportunity to go through each district and add more roads. Again, my whole thing with the engineer was you spend the money evenly. You take the $500,000 we're paying to design, you design every district evenly, and if we get the $5 or $6 million we're asking for, we're going to spend it evenly. Because that's how it goes. Now, will we be finished? If you go and tell anybody that once we spend this $30 million, our roads are going to be finished, it's not true. We will not get to many roads with the money that we have. We are going to have to continue to hustle money, continue to go for capital outlay, continue to look for grants. Do you think that I was out Thursday and Friday. I got here Monday and realized, and the figure is even higher than I thought. I thought it was going to be $800,000. Do you think that, this isn't a challenge for all of us, that now we got to pay back 969,000? We had a big discussion about this, but, there's a new every day there's some new thing and new challenge, and you can't just focus on what you didn't do. You can't also just focus on what you got going and tout your own horn, because the game's going to change on you every day. So it's a balancing act of what can I get to, document what I can't get to, because there will be things you won't get to. There'll be things that will leave this council that you came here to do, that you'll get some of it done. Same thing with me. I got a list in my desk when I got here. I walked away. I was blessed. I was very fortunate that I had my own businesses. I had made investments. I could take this job. I came with a list. I didn't come here to waste my time. And I won't finish my list. And every week that my time's ticking, that, there's 3 years left in this term, I'm realizing, I won't make it all. You won't make all the lists that you have in mind. None of us will. On the flip side is to stick to the positive, make a plan, do what we can. I don't mind documenting or talking about the negative, but we can't just focus on that. We end up doing a lot of good as a team, and I'm blessed to have every one of you. But we won't get to everything. We won't do everything. But what you did do was point out just how challenging this job can be. So I thank you for that.
No.
And like I said, it's a discussion. We all have our opinions, and we should all have our different opinions. It's what makes us a good team.
And all this is good, Mayor. My biggest hang-up is that it just seems like coming in last all the time.
But if I'm spending the money equally per district, I don't understand how then we're all coming in last. Then we're all not winning enough. And that might be the case.
I mean, I understand this. Here we are. I understand that my district is a multiple mix of commercial, residential, covering Main
Whole
Street.
town is, though. You ever notice our town is really mixed up?
It's really coming together good. Yeah, I agree.
Mixed up, though. Every district is its own entity, and none of them are balanced. If we designed New Iberia, me and you would sit down, we wouldn't design it like it is. It's something that, but it's been since 1779, but it's a mess.
Well, what I was
In how it's
saying
laid out.
is that it has a good mix, but where I'm at is that on the residential side of my district is where I find we struggle. We're really having some serious issues with a lot of different things. And we have them on the radar, and I'm sure down the line we will get them taken care of. But like I said, it just seems like when you take a run around town and you see the progress, I don't see it in my residential area. And the people I talk to, okay, because you say, I have Main Street, okay, some of those people have businesses, but they don't live in that area, okay?
Yeah.
The people in the residential areas pay the taxes, and they live there. And some of the areas is we have issue after blighted property. We got trash. We got all kinds of different things, and and I do believe because the infrastructure is suffering, they bring the blight. They don't want to live there. We're losing the taxes and things on that line. I might be wrong, but I'm not wrong by far, I don't believe. And all I'm saying is that we need some attention in the area.
Understand. And I appreciate that, and that's why each one of you up here represents 5,000 people, and we got 5,000 good things and 5,000 problems in every district. But you do a good job of representing your district. I think that as a council, though, we do a good job of trying to spread the money around and address all the issues. Some parts of town have, I just tell it like it is. I tell people, I had to remind somebody of that today. They were kind of popping off, and I said, look, let me tell you something. 30% of our citizens in New Iberia live below the poverty line. Another 10% are working or poor. And then you have about 10% that are working poor. So half of our town struggles. It's why we find the money to do one block at a time, some things we're going to go over tonight. It's why we did the scholarships at the SLCC. It's why, as a group, we have tried to address many issues that I've never seen another government do, not a local government, okay? Because we realize the town we represent. We realize our challenges. But Can we fix them all overnight? No, we can't. But the good thing is, I think every one of us, including myself and every one of you, are committed to continue down the path we're on. So I think we'll get there. Anyway, yes, sir.
Mayor, you know, I think in the last few years is the opportunity we had because we had good legislatures. We had good people to help bring money here. You know, way back 20 years ago when I was on the council, all our money went to sewer. We had to build a sewer plant. We never had money for infrastructure, never had money for roads, none of that. So what happens, all those years not even doing maintenance to those roads came to where we're at now. And now we got the money to fix the roads right, not paint them with black tar and make it look pretty. And look, we did that.
Yeah, road in a can. That's what I
Yeah.
used to call it.
So I think all it takes time, but it takes more than this council, this mayor. It takes the legislatures, it takes the governor, it takes a lot of things to make it happen.
Takes
And
the
I'm gonna tell you,
citizens.
and we're getting some good money right now.
No, we're blessed.
Oh, man, it's
We're blessed. If we can
unbelievable.
continue down the path we're on, we're gonna all see a change.
And that makes a difference. And we didn't have that opportunity way back when I was there in the beginning. We just didn't have no money, and everything went to sewer. Nothing went to roads.
Well-
Or everything went to sewer. Sewer, that's all you talked about in budget every year was sewer. We didn't do anything else. And the programs that y'all found or that's available now through government, it's been helping people that never could been helped before. So, I mean, I'm gonna tell you, I'm just saying I've been through where we had no money, and now where we have some monies to help more people. And I never saw, look, I came back here because of the Pepperplex. I wanted Pepperplex to be finished. And luckily, we got some monies from the government to finish something for all kids. No matter where they live, how much their parents make, they can all enjoy the Pepperplex. Just like all the parks. We didn't have those parks when we were here. We had no parks. We had 2 parks. So these little things are big things when you look at it. And I just want to applaud not only this council, the prior council, to keep going forward like we're doing. Because I think we're very blessed and very lucky to do things that I was not able to do 20 years from when I was here. And I see the difference, you know, and it's all with leadership, all with leadership. And I just believe people up here, the mayor, whoever it is the difference of making things go forward, you know. And I want to thank the community for backing us. I mean, you have to admit, when you don't see a lot of people in the audience, you know why? Because they agree what's going on. Look, years back when I was here, you couldn't sit in there, there's so many people. And I'm just saying. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I mean, people agreeing what we're doing, the direction we're going to. And I want to thank everybody for that and thank the mayor for it, you know, because, and want to continue to have someone to keep forward where we want to go. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else?
We good?
Everybody good? Then I'd ask you to, nope. What's that? Oh, I'm sorry, we never did a motion. I apologize.
Oh.
We've been talking so long. So we closed the public hearing. Right. So now we just gotta go on the main.
I'll make the main motion.
Okay,
man.
we have a motion by Councilman Dan Dahl. Do I have a second? Do I have a second?
Second.
Mayor Pro Tem Ricky Gonsalas. Okay, is there any more discussion? Everybody good? Please vote your machines. Thank you very much. All right. That was a long one, but thank y'all. It was a good discussion from everybody. I appreciate it.
Ooh, we need a water break.
Yeah. 5A.
Don't drink your water.
Resolution number 2635, a resolution awarding 6-month bids for supplies.
I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Mayor Pro Tem Ricky Gonsalas, Councilman Ron Davis. Any discussion on this item? Please vote your machines then. Thank you. 5B.
Resolution number 2637, a resolution approving change order number 1 for the One Block at a Time home repairs projects, exterior painting, and authorizing the mayor to execute any and all documentation in connection therewith.
I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Mayor Pro Tem Gonsalas and Councilman Warren White. David?
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
So this is a change order for 1106 Hopkins Street. This house is going to be added to the one block at a time exterior house painting. We've already painted 9 houses. They've all been completed. This is the 10th house. One block at a time has surplus funding available in ARPA category. So we're spending all the money that's available for this project. So this is a portion of it. We have another change order for some other work. And then we'll have probably in about a month or so, we are going out to bid with some roofs.
That's with, in partnership with WEC? No?
ARPA.
Nope, not there yet. Still
Oh, we're not there yet? Okay, still are. Okay. Good.
I think that's my way.
Yes, sir.
You said it was a surplus?
Yeah, we picked alternates, and those, remember, we had some
Okay,
money,
yeah.
we did the roofs,
We've been under budget.
and so we've been under budget. So now we're going to the alternates that we picked and going to
The
people,
application's already here.
just to make sure that we spend all the money. I don't wanna give it back if it can be used in our community.
Well, if it falls short on applications,
Yeah.
please let me know.
Okay.
I had a lady that I talked to.
Oh, we had people every day, and people stopped me at the store, at the lumberyard, you could do it again, you know.
Well, she was approved, but she was waiting for, to see what we was gonna be at, if she was gonna be able to use her for that extra
David,
money.
1106, is that towards the St. Peter's section or?
Which way? That's got towards Amador way.
I think it's kind of in the middle.
Okay, I was just trying to get an idea where it was
Yeah, I
located.
think it's kind of in the middle.
I didn't,
Somewhere around Lombard.
They,
that's what I was wondering.
the house had some extensive siding work that needed to be done. That you couldn't even paint it, so they have to do some carpentry work just to kind of mend it before they paint it.
We'll go see what that's at.
Yep. Any other questions, comments? We had a motion, and a second? Okay, then please vote your machines. Thank you very much. Madam Clerk, 5C.
Resolution number 2638, a resolution approving change order number 1 for the one block at a time home repairs project, operable shutters, and authorizing the mayor to execute any and all documentation in connection therewith.
I need a motion.
Motion.
Councilman David Romero, and I'm looking for a second. Somebody.
Second.
Mayor Pro Tem Ricky Gonsalas. See, I'm missing
Trying to
Brooke,
give
man.
I'm trying to
missing
give one
Brooke.
opportunity, but he's
Brooke's on
sleeping.
the,
No, I'm not.
Body at, man.
Hey, I don't want to see him,
any discussion on this item? Everybody good? And please vote your machines. Thank you.
All right, thank y'all.
Thank you.
Appreciate it very much. 5D.
Resolution number 2639, a resolution awarding contract to Southern Constructors LLC for the pump stations B5 and E2 upgrades project, and authorizing the mayor to execute any and all documentation in connection therewith.
I need a motion.
so moved.
Councilman Dan Dahl, Mayor Pro Tem Ricky Gonsalas. This is the sewer that's going in for the. Right. Good. And
They had a budget on this?
yeah, it actually came in under budget. We saved a little money, so that's more sewer money I got to fix something else. With that long list we have, oh Lord. Any discussion or comments?
I don't know, when the sewer costs are going down, maintenance costs.
Oh, that was,
That's a good answer.
well,
too.
that is a good answer, but boy, you
That's the
brave.
wrong answer.
It's the wrong answer. Don't come with that. Sorry, but we can't do that.
Just trying to make, I don't think our sewer costs are going down, everything's going down.
We had a motion in a second.
Yep.
Okay, any comments, questions?
Mayor?
Yes, sir.
Just looking at the bids as they come in, I know we have to take the low bids.
Yes, sir.
As you said. Comparing the top and the bottom, one's 2 times
I know.
the bid of the other, or I'm sure we comparing the bids.
We compare the bids, we ask the questions, we check their bonds. This is we know Southern contractors, we know their work, they're local, but we check the bond, we check the cost, we talk to them, we make sure they're okay, because, I need to know that before I enter a contract with them, but yeah. And this happens, it depends on their workload, and you've seen it before.
Yeah.
And we've sat here, your predecessor, okay? Councilwoman DeeDee Johnson-Reed would bet money every time they were never gonna finish the job. She was all like, they're too low, But contracting is different. If you don't have a lot of work, you're gonna pick up a project. You look at your competition. Sometimes you know who's I don't know where they get their work, but who's always the high bidder. It's just a weird, I mean, I've been doing that for 40 years. So, you know, I would take jobs and they'd say, you know, that's it, he's going down, you know, he's not gonna make it, and I came out fine. It just depends on what work you do yourself, what kind of inside track of the skill set you have that maybe somebody else has to sub out that you can do in-house. It's just a different mix. Sometimes you have subcontractors and they're loyal to you and they don't bid to anybody else and they have a lot lower price. There's just so many variables in it. It's so we do have a good contractor. He does have a good bond.
Well, I know Southern contractors do some work, a lot of work for us, but because looking at the disparity in the cost, we have our inspectors that's going to be inspecting.
Definitely,
you know.
definitely,
Okay.
definitely.
Cool.
Yes, sir.
If you look at the 4 bids, they within 5%. I think the other two just
Didn't want
didn't
the
need the
work.
job,
Yeah, the
and they
work.
just did it to
Yeah.
not get off the bid
Yeah.
list.
I know
Right,
that
right.
happens.
Or
But,
hey, if I sneak
I
up
mean-
on it, yeah, I can.
When you
know.
give within 5 and 10%, I find in the past, I mean,
Yeah.
that's a good bid. And they all within the, 4 of them were within
Yeah.
5%,
Yeah,
so,
somebody didn't need it.
yeah, I think they're fine.
That's all good.
Anybody else? Everybody good? Please vote your machines. Thank you very much. 5E.
Resolution number 2640, a resolution approving certificate of substantial completion for the Charles and Ann Streets Drainage Improvements Project and authorizing the mayor to execute any and all documentation in connection therewith.
I need a motion.
Second.
Mayor Pro Tem Ricky Gonsalas and Councilman Ron Davis. Is there any discussion on this one?
In that area, Mayor, because I mean, we've always had some drainage issues there, flooding and whatever, and I'm hoping this does help.
I hope
to
it
correct
helps, and it's on the list with the money that we're paying Chandler Staples to look at some other projects. And I'm spreading that again evenly per district because I'm hoping this helps, but it probably won't alleviate anything.
I was
And
curious to know
we're-
what they did do right there to make.
They just
help
clean, they
correct.
just went through and clean canals, that's what this project was about. This is trying to finish the drainage improvements, but what they've all been, we've called it drainage improvements, we spent $1 million, and it took the $1 million to just clean all the canals that had been, you know, not tended to, let's put it that way.
A lot of stuff.
The next part of it will not be canal cleaning. The next money is what we really need, is that I'm gonna have to continue to do, till we'll continue to do together, is all those pipes that are so small. You know, the main trunk lines, what slows us down is it takes months and months to do a hydrology study to figure out if your main trunk line can take more water. So far, we've been lucky that it can, and the problem's been that these little 12 and 15-inch pipes that I don't know when they put them in, how they thought that was gonna be sufficient.
Growth, yeah.
But growth happened and then they weren't. So I think for the rest of our time together, we'll be running around trying to find money to change piping. And I think adding basins, adding openings, adding, you know, bigger drain inlets and pipes to get to the main, or to get to these canals.
It's that old
But that's why you clean the canals first, because had we not, and we started with the pipes, it wouldn't be able to handle the extra water.
Got a question
You know.
on the canals, Mayor. Going through Lafayette, I see that Million Bayou, you know, they have the concrete
Oh, yeah.
sides and stuff. but
Oh,
we
if
don't
I
have to
could
go
do
back
that,
and
it
the
would be
maintenance.
great. But if I could do that, it would be great. Talk about expensive. If I had looked into that when I got here,
Yeah.
dummy me when I got here said, we'll concrete them all. I mean, I've been a contractor my whole life. We'll concrete them all. We can't afford to concrete them all.
Just
But
curious.
that is the right way to go. 100%. Anybody else? Please vote your machines. Thank you. 5F.
Resolution number 2641, a resolution accepting the municipal water pollution prevention environmental audit report and setting action to maintain permit requirements.
Okay. What are we doing?
Let him do what he got.
Come on
to
up.
It was basically just a annual report of the performance of the plants over the last year. If you all read through them, I don't know if y'all have any questions.
Mayor, I got a question.
Yes.
What plant you think, Craig, gives you more of an issue, out the 3 plant? I mean, I see the findings and you have to go up to like, you can't, go more than 50. It's like it was 47, but if you look at the little plants, what plant you think gives you more of a headache?
They're both about the same.
They are?
With the Drum screens being out the last 2 years really created a problem for Plant 4. Plant 3 is just in need of a lot of upgrades, which we're doing right now. It's hard to say, but
So with those
just Plant
upgrades,
4 because it's me alone trying
yeah.
to.
So with these upgrades, that could change some of your issues that you
Oh,
had?
absolutely,
Okay,
absolutely.
okay, thank you.
And next year, the score will be a lot lower.
Yeah.
I remember saying that last year, when I presented.
Yeah, but
this,
we also thought
the
the drum screens were gonna be a lot quicker.
Drum screens in yet?
Huh? No,
Not yet, I didn't think so.
It's,
you don't wanna go there.
Okay.
it's another low bidder. It's another, you know,
May get some money back.
yeah, well, we're actually,
As long as they
they're
install
in
right.
liquidated damages.
Make sure they
We
install
are
right.
charging them liquidated damages and will not back off of that. They're close, but they're not finished. But yeah, that's gonna be wonderful when they finally get online.
We do have one drum screen running, and it's all we need right now.
I know, but we paid for 3
Oh, I know.
and we ain't backing off and the liquidated damages aren't stopping.
No.
You know?
Mr. Mayor, if we get say, somewhat a problematic contractor
Yes, sir.
that we're kind of halfway experiencing, but not terrible, do we still have to accept them if they're a low bidder? And we have the experience?
I'm documenting all the problems because I would like to maybe be able to make that case that they just weren't, you know, if you call the bonding company in, they done, okay?
Yeah.
But on a project that they've had issues, there must be a limit. There must be something that I could do at some point and just say, I don't think they're a qualified contractor.
In the future, you can refuse to let them bid because of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those are the issue, yeah.
yeah, there are rules about how you do that, it's a
Right.
process, it's part of the bid law.
Right, right. But we are documenting it because there could be some instances they could finish the job and, you know, finally we get there, but that we wouldn't have to use them again.
Right.
And having been a contractor for 40 years, never paid liquidated damages, never didn't finish a project, I don't have a lot of tolerance and I don't understand how, you're greedy. You take too much work and you figure I'll just pay liquidated damage, gonna make it money somewhere else, but you're making a conscious decision to jack one of your contracts. I don't understand that. So I don't have a lot of leniency for that and I charge you liquidated damages.
And it's not so much the contractors. The contractors have been great.
It's the
manufacturers.
subcontractors and the manufacturer, really, yeah,
Really.
yeah. But they caught, I mean, that's, you know.
They're responsible.
Yep, and they can probably pass some of those costs on to the manufacturer, or sometime when it's a subcontractor, they have it in their
Both hold
contracts.
liquidated.
Yeah, yeah, so, anyway,
Thank you.
all right, so, I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Mayor Pro Tem Ricky Gonsalas and Councilman Warren White, I think, had that one. Is there any discussion?
So,
Yes.
Craig, this information you gave us, I mean, you know, we just got it. What's in here?
So it's basically just, it looks at the DMR, which is a discharge monitoring reports each month that the DEQ reviews, based on, you know, our loadings, our permit requirements, and if we have any exceedances, we have to explain why. You know, basically just how many times did we exceed our BOD, did we exceed our design flow, did we exceed, parameter exceedances, but, it just,
Trying to get
it's a test to give your plan a score with the condition it's in.
Appreciate it. Just wanted to save me some work or something. Thank you, though.
You're welcome.
Okay, everybody good? No other comments, questions? Please vote your machines. All right. This brings us to Councilman's remarks.
We got expansion.
Oh, wait, oh, I'm sorry, you're right, we have another item.
Yeah, that.
Yes.
Not on you.
No, not on you, Craig, you can go. Yeah. This, we are expanding the agenda. This is what Panat brought at the very beginning. I would like to tell you about it before we, or do we
Gotta
need?
read it. Gotta
What's
do the
that?
whole shebang.
Okay, go ahead and read it.
Expand the agenda to discuss and consider the following item, resolution number 2642, a resolution creating a policy for the waiver of certain fees added to property taxes to encourage construction of new housing in disproportionately impacted census tracts. The purpose of this expansion is to expedite the creation of this policy to allow for the construction of new housing as soon as possible. Motion to expand.
Okay,
Motion to expand.
motion to expand
Move.
agenda. Councilman Ron Davis, Councilman Dave Romero. Is there any discussion on that? Then I need a vote to expand.
Now, to expand.
And after we, yeah, to expand, then I'll explain everything. Okay, now
Public hearing.
I need a motion to open our public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Mayor Pro Tem Ricky Gosselin, Councilman Ron Davis. Is there anyone from the public? Okay.
Now, let me ask, what are we doing here? Are we voting to do this tonight, or?
Do I go back and forth on public comment? I mean, I can explain what we're doing.
Yeah, I think we need to explain what we're doing.
Yeah, okay, let me explain what we're doing, then you might be okay with it. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, what we're doing is in low census tracts, in impacted areas, okay, we have a nonprofit that wants to come in and build affordable housing, and people will own these houses, and they're financing it below market rate, okay? So it's not taking advantage of anybody. There's even a way that if you make the whole mortgage, they credit you $40,000 that you don't have to pay. So it is a good deal, and we always say we have product with no market. We have areas of town that people have not come to invest in. That's the point of this, okay? So this lot on Field Street, we have to collect our city taxes, okay? Which we can do. You've had some experience with that. We can make adjustments, and we can take off fees and things that the city put on, but people have to pay their taxes, okay? So this lot in particular had about $5,000 in fees. A lot of grass cutting, just a lot of stuff, okay? So their taxes for the last 3 years would be $1,653. People have to pay their taxes, so you can't take that away. But the point of this is to have documentation and a way that to encourage people to build homes that are affordable for our citizens, that our citizens can own. We are willing to say all those fees will go away except your taxes.
Yeah.
So they get a lesser amount at closing. Now, we don't want to do this if they show up with the golden shovel, turn the dirt, and never build anything. So in the document, the city attorney and I have worked together. Before they get this credit, they got to have the foundation poured. They have, then they coming to build something. So I don't want somebody coming to town, the guy from Lafayette we talk about. I don't want somebody coming from town and then they get a credit, they buy the property, and they don't do anything. So what I want to make sure of, and we have a catch-all in there, that we'll do this only in disproportionately impacted areas, only if they're building a house, only if it's affordable. They need to be a nonprofit. So we're trying to lay out all the steps because they're going to build 4 houses, okay? If this succeeds, they're already looking at building 4 more houses, okay? So it would put housing where we desperately need it. And what I like about it is its ownership. If you have a way that you can own your house, you got a good neighbor built in right away. You got somebody who has skin in the game. So this was the first step, but we needed to bring this so that we have a way that if they succeed with these 4 houses, we could allow them to do more. And I'll turn it over to the city attorney.
Yeah, we don't limit it to nonprofits. We could.
Okay.
We kind of talked about that, but this is not limited to nonprofits. A developer who comes in doesn't have to be a nonprofit. You could limit it to nonprofits, but the idea is you have a piece of property.
Well, I do want those houses built.
Yeah, you got a piece of property that owes some taxes, they're gonna have to pay that, but they've got some additional stuff, grass cutting, maintenance, nuisance fees, whatever. If they're willing to come in and build a house for low-income people on that property, then we will cut some of these fees, which are not gonna be a lot of money. We're gonna cut some of these fees to encourage that development, because that house is gonna go on the tax rolls, and it's gonna start paying in to benefit everybody. And we're gonna take something that's not useful and make it useful. The way this is put together, we have to get value for what we're giving up. What we're giving up is some fees, but what we're getting is something on the tax rolls. That's a good thing. That's gonna give us low-income housing, and that's a good thing. So the way this works is they have to pay the money that they want us to give up. And we're gonna hold that, or somebody's gonna hold that in escrow, and then provided that they build the foundation for the house, because we don't want a golden shovel deal, providing they actually build the foundation, then the money's released back to them.
Yes, release back.
If they don't build the foundation, we get the money.
It's the only way
they've
that
lost it.
I see personally we're ever going to build some new neighborhoods in some areas of town and give people that home ownership chance.
Yeah.
So I think we haven't, since I've been here, we've been looking for someone to be that developer. We've been looking for a way to make this happen. We still have adjudicated property issues. We're going through with the state. They've changed the rules. They're gonna have to adjust them in this session. But sometimes it's adjudicated, but sometimes it's just a blighted piece of property, but somebody's paying the taxes. Sometimes it's a combination of both, but that's holding us back, where this is a tool, I think, to get some revitalization going.
If I might inject right now, this is not.
Now you kind of know what it is. So public comment,
Right, so what I'm asking, right now, we're talking about that particular property on the corner of Corrine and Field Street, where,
Monotony, yeah.
Yes.
That's the
Correct.
particular
Yeah,
property.
he was here earlier.
yes.
And we're talking about waiving any type of penalties or fees over the taxes, for in order to.
They
make
still
this-
pay their
in order
taxes,
to
though.
Make this happen, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Their taxes.
I understand exactly what you're
Now,
saying.
what we're doing is we're setting a policy.
Yeah.
You know, we don't wanna do it property by property.
No, but this allows us for those, that criteria to keep doing this.
But it's gotta be, you know,
They gotta meet all these rules.
a census tract that's disproportionately impacted,
Mm-hmm.
you know, so this is gonna be a poor area. And it's gotta be somebody who's gonna build affordable housing and somebody who actually gets the job going.
Yeah.
Understand that.
So,
I just wanna make.
So it don't necessarily have to be a nonprofit, but.
No, just so they build an affordable
you could
house.
say that. I mean, you know,
Good thing.
It is a good
no,
thing.
and we're not,
It's a good thing.
It
and
is.
the point is not to benefit nonprofits. I mean, legally, we can't do more for them than we can do for anybody else. The point is to get it on the tax rolls and to benefit the public with low-income housing. This is a creative experiment, you know, it's kinda like
Have their own house.
one block at a time
People
stuff,
need
you know?
homes.
So,
And one block at a time has worked out. We
Yeah.
were very apprehensive of that, and it was, people told me I was doing something that was, very different, but I mean,
At this time, we have a
who don't
property
wanna own
that's
their own
paying
home?
city taxes where we didn't before.
Correct,
All right,
correct.
That's the goal here, right?
yes, sir.
somebody's living
Yes, sir.
there.
And somebody's living there, and we're making a neighborhood, and
Don't have to cut the
a
grass.
family gets raised there.
Might get to own their own home,
Somebody that's on HUD or Section 8 can own their own
own a
home.
home, and that's a good thing.
Somebody hold it down, let me speak.
This is not a universal,
Get out of this, right?
Yeah.
Listen, I appreciate that, and I think that we should support such a thing, you understand? And, also something was mentioned in this meeting about, discussed earlier. Ever since, our mayor, Hilda Kerber was mayor, the mayor position has gotten a raise every time the city employees has gotten one. So that raise about, not, let's say 19 years ago, we're getting, that mayor's position gets a raise every time the civil service employees gets a raise, all right? To let you know that most recently was last year. All right, that's the bottom line. Now, I'm not gonna compliment or comment on whatever the mayor's salary is at this time, but I want you to know that it wasn't 19 years ago that the mayor's position last got a raise. All right, every time the city employees, since Hilda Curry became the mayor, received a raise, the mayor's position received that raise, whether it was 2% or 4%.
But it goes back to 80 when another mayor comes.
Huh?
It goes back to 80 when another mayor comes, it starts over. But anyway, we already discussed this. I understand.
It's not like it's 19 years ago since the mayor's position has gotten a raise, all right? Let's make that much clear. All right?
It's starting day, but we all good, man.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so that was our motion to open the public hearing. Nobody else is speaking. Do we have a motion to close the public
So
hearing?
move.
Second.
They're not listening. Mayor Pro Tem Ricky Gonsalas, Councilman Warren White. So our public hearing is closed. Now we're on the main motion. Can I get a
Moved.
main motion?
Second.
Mayor Pro Tem Ricky Gonsalas, Councilman Warren White. Is there any discussion on this item? Is everybody good with it? All right, please vote your machines.
You're slow.
Thank you very much. Okay, now we want the councilman's remarks. Councilman
He's already
Warren
talking.
White, you already talking? Take it away.
Oh, okay. I just want to say I had a Easter egg hunt in the West End Park this Saturday. It was like for adults, and it was a good event. And plan on bringing it again next year. you know, I think the adults need to have fun too. And what they had, we had like over 900 eggs. They had all cash, cash in it. So it was cash money.
Hey, Ron, we missed that.
So, and we did like, each person get 10 eggs. So you know if you got 10 eggs, you got $10 at least.
And just go home with that.
They had like $100, 50, 20s, and 5 and 10s and 1s. So hopefully it'll be an annual thing. I'll bring it back next year again.
knows how to throw a party.
Partnership with the city.
Pretty creative.
And yep, I say you need some for the adults. And they had fun. You know, even though, you know, it rained a little bit after they got the eggs, but it was fun. They had food and DJ and money.
And money spent.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
And well, I'm not done.
Oh, no, that's just a good thing.
Okay. I have an event, the June 10th celebration on the 20th in the Western Park. You know, on the 20th from 10 to 5. If any organization, business, or individual like to get involved, you know, they can have a booth, a tent, or anything they would like to have. And that's going to be on June the 20th for Juneteenth celebration. So if you want to, you can contact me or Krista Beyonce for any information, you know, to get involved in this event. Thank you.
Thank you.
So just a couple events to put on your calendar coming up. May the 2nd, we got the Bayou Side Run. I'm sure they're going to be coming talk about it to support mental illness in our community. Every community has mental illness issues, and we try to raise money for support. Also, we have the Acadiana Tricycle 500 in City Park the same day. So we'll have two good events going on. Anybody's welcome to enter these events and participate. And with that said, you know, there's always good events going on. But Dan, finally got Pollard Street looking good, waiting on the stripe.
Yep.
They didn't have the stripe yet today.
Painted,
And that's what happened today.
Well, not to change, but striping is gonna be done more than one street at a time.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. But it looks good. And a lot of people called about that street.
Oh, they called before the street.
Yeah.
And every other street.
I'm good.
Good, okay.
April, May, spring is here. Kids are out of school. Be mindful. Be safe. There's a lot of activities that's going on. Keeping your mind active and your bodies as well. Also, those little critters, you know, are running around. You know, so I always remind myself about that time to watch your next step. You know, but saying May is a very important month. Early voting starts. There's a lot of activity on the ballots. Voting ballots are changing to some extent. How you do vote, how you accounted for it, and early voting is May 2nd through 9th, I believe is the
May
date.
2nd, yeah.
And then we have the voting on May 15th. You know, so there's a lot of information that's out there. Educate yourselves. You know, voting is is very important. So please make note.
Thank you, Jim.
Mayor, I wanna let you know, a lot of people are using that skate park,
They
what you
are.
gonna call it, I don't know what you call it. But they must all use their skateboards to get there. I never see cars, but I see people in it.
It's constant.
So it's
They
a,
get there by skating.
yeah. But
Wheels, man.
it's a great job, came out great, and people are really enjoying it, and summer's not even here yet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they enjoy
Good.
that.
I'd like to just say that we need to keep our, the people who are involved in the Laotian community, that tragedy
yes,
that happened.
yes, forgot about
Let's just keep them all in our prayers, you know, to give them all a speedy recovery.
Yes.
Other than that, our next meeting's April 21st, and with that, I ask for a motion to adjourn.
That's my wife's
I make a motion to adjourn.
bottom wall.
Thank you.